Hello, ladies and gentlemen, an episode to welcome 118 of the Terminus podcast. I am your dispatcher, Alice.
We're flying with that one, okay?
Yeah, well, you know what?
All
Sometimes
right,
the show must go on. You know,
Yep.
we're too far in to cancel and restart. It's been a whole 15 seconds. I can't delete that footage and start again.
That's just too much.
Sunk cost.
That's too much.
You know, whatever.
That gives Kodak like a whole 5 cents.
Yeah.
Or it would if this was actually film.
Or
that would
does
be awful.
Kodak still exist?
Yes, I
think so.
I bought film from them 2 months ago.
Weird.
Nice.
Anyway.
Yeah, I had to shoot on it. It was bad. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, I am your dispatcher, Ellis, otherwise known as Trainman. With me, I have my engineers, Brett Wiebold and Nick Christensen, and I have my fireman, TJ, who is,
Hello.
you know, he was demoted from an engineer. He used to be back in the day, but we don't talk about that.
Yeah, firing's harder anyway.
It's like 5 dead, 24 injured.
And with us, once again, is Eric. He's here on a mission, and we shall see how it pans out. He's been seriously, he's been trying to get on for the last, 5 episodes to do this. And we've avoided him skillfully every time, but, you know, he's caught up. He's caught up to us. We've been watching him, you know, we do the thing when he's out mowing the lawn, or, when he's in the bathroom, or, you know.
Definitely. Yes.
But,
When he least expect it. Terminus.
Yeah. Before that all goes down, the train will terminate at this station.
Okay, and this week we were in Gary's Mod on a map called Henrysburg V2. At least I hope I heard that right, and it's not like Harrisburg. It is, in fact,
It says
Henrysburg, possessive of Henry.
Yeah.
It's his.
It's his. It's
Okay.
his burg.
It's
Also, there are a lot of
Wonderful.
buildings missing textures in this map.
We're in Henrysburg. Henry really likes pink and black paint in a checkerboard.
He needs things all half-right too or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, this week, before,
speaking of paint...
don't skip a section.
Oh, well, it's just as well I didn't have anything for paint.
Yeah.
Okay. So some paint probably got messed up this week on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different railroads. That's BNSF, Canadian Pacific twice, CSX, and Union Pacific twice. Starting on March the 2nd, 2019, where Union Pacific closed a highway due to a collision with a truck. In fact, there wasn't even any damage to the train by the looks, but it, well, there was probably some scratch paint, as I said, but the train was headed east and hit a big rig driven south on 306 across the tracks. The truck driver was not able to clear the tracks, which, there are gates at this crossing. You'd think you'd have enough warning, but
You'd think,
maybe he didn't.
but...
They spilled about 4,000 gallons of diesel fuel from the trailer of the truck. The train did not derail, no injuries reported, no waterways threatened, so basically nothing really interesting, but there's a map of where it is. So that's nice, and a picture of a train having bisected a trailer. Or, well, no,
Nice.
actually, it just looks like it clipped the back of it. So he almost made it across. It looks like a tractor trailer with 2 trailers, and it got the second trailer. So, I mean, maybe they genuinely didn't have enough time to get across the crossing when the gates started coming down. Anyway, 2 days later, there were crews cleaning up a derailment northeast of Alexandria. Alexandria what? I don't know. But it was a Canadian Pacific train, which I only found out because in one of the pictures, you can see the very rear of a Canadian Pacific engine. But there's another engine scheme, which I don't know what it is. It's kind of blue, it's got some gold stripes. I've never seen it before.
It's a user, probably.
What?
Like, it's a yeast unit kind of deal,
could
I
be.
think.
It looks too fancy to be a leased unit, but maybe that's just me. Anyway, I wouldn't call this a minor derailment. There were some things that are definitely piled up, but no injuries, no fires, no explosions. Just some torn up track and a couple of covered hoppers on their sides. Perpendicular to the tracks, though, so it's not like they just fell over. Something went down. 2 days later, which seems to be the, sort of amount of time between crashes these days, a train derailed in Dyer. Dyer where?
What a dire situation.
Yeah.
Dyer, I barely even know her.
Yeah. Put me down for a point.
Anyway, it was just the last car of a CSX train. It looks like a coil car. It had come off the rails and it was dragging along, and so they stopped it. There was nothing in the car. There were no injuries reported. They say safety is their highest priority, but this was a CSX train, so yeah. And they blocked a road. So that's blocking the road is the theme this weekend, and nothing really interesting otherwise happening. We get to talk about a serious roadblock a little bit later in the show. I don't know what to think, but it isn't good. It's not good things that I'm thinking, and I'll explain a little bit later. On the 9th, on March 9th, there was a 2-train derailment, otherwise known as a crash, caused by human error, which, most things are. Human error is to blame after 2 CP rail trains made contact. That's called a crash.
Oof.
That's a collision.
Oh, look at that! They nearly missed.
It involved an intermodal train and a local yard train. The intermodal was going by, and the local train just pulled out too far by the looks. The cars were carrying a variety of products, but there were about a dozen cars derailed, no leaks or spills, and everything actually stayed up. Nothing fell over, which is kind of impressive when you consider that you had a 2-train crash. Also, it looks like there's a mid-train helper in there, but I can't exactly see. Anyway, you also have a location of this crash as a pin on Google Maps. So that's the second crash that they actually give you the location if you want to look at the track arrangement and see how things could have gone wrong, so you can learn and replicate these things in your own routes or whatever.
Yep.
If you
It's
show
just like the simulations.
Yep.
Wow.
Something else to replicate on your own routes, if trains had wind physics, is I assume this is BNSF, because it happened in New Mexico.
Yep.
A train that got blown
this crash
off.
was bad enough that I actually got texted about it.
Yeah. It got blown off of a trestle and fell really far.
It's a mess.
Oh, yeah. 26 cars, wind was a contributing factor. As far as I know, they were all empty double-stack train cars.
It's a wind fence on wheels.
Yeah, exactly. 26 cars, no engines or anything like that, nobody injured, but holy cow, is it a mess. How much of that do you think they're just going to leave there?
80%?
Yeah, you're going to probably get the stuff out of the river, and that's going to be that. That's just what happens. You're going to be driving, you're going to be going by there in 50 years, and there's going to be the remnant of an intermodal container sticking up out of the ground.
Oof.
Yeah. Mommy, what's that?
Anyway.
Well, little Jimmy, let me tell you a story.
Here's something.
Why does mommy sound like that?
It's the dad cutting the mom off because he doesn't respect her.
He's mansplaining
Yeah,
why the
exactly.
container's sticking out of the river.
Well, kids, back in my day, there was a lot of wind.
Yep.
Now that the atmosphere is burned off, we don't have that anymore.
A lot of wind. This is horribly inaccurate. They're not speaking Chinese, Ellis.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Anyway,
Go ahead,
if we
Alice,
want to
let's
talk,
hear it.
if we want to talk about something a little bit more exciting, I'm not sure if it's more exciting than a train falling off a bridge, but
I was going to say more exciting than the post.
well, this was a fire. There was a fire, although not a big one.
on the moon.
No, a Union Pacific
In
train
China.
derailed in southern Minnesota on Friday. It's spilling diesel fuel and sparking a fire. One locomotive
Might
and
as well
12
be the
cars.
moon, I
It
guess.
looks like an empty coal train. The front of one car is crushed in like a tin can, and there's a locomotive that's sort of perpendicular to the track. But yeah, cause of
It's a pretty
derailment
good
is under investigation, but somehow I get the feeling human error was involved. Just because that's how these
Typically
things
is.
Anyway, alright, Weibold, what was this about paint?
Absolutely nothing. I didn't have a paint
I
segue,
know.
actually.
Good job. We're proud of you.
10
I
out
do
of 10.
have an annoying sticky white stuff segue, as horrible as that sounds. It's not that bad. It's not that
He has
bad.
a lot of it in
I'm
his
of
life,
course
let's be honest.
referring to calcium silicate. Get your minds out of the
Oh,
gutter.
I thought you were talking about snow.
No. Though that is something as well. That everything has been very, very late for those of you that, I don't know, live in a basement somewhere.
I was gonna say annoying sticky white situation. I was like, oh, you got our snow. You understand.
We did sort of get icy New Englandy snow, which I will be able to experience not the New Englandy snow, but the East Coast version of snow, along with calcium silicate. This coming week, I'm planning on traveling to the Strasburg Railroad, along with a couple of my colleagues from the museum, to assist in some work on RGS 20, and hopefully bringing it back sometime this spring.
Well, see, here's the concerning thing, though. The last thing to cross that distance in that manner was RGS 20, and it disappeared for 3 months. So if Weibel doesn't come on the show for a while, that's why. But at least he could possibly figure out what happened to her all that time.
Know that I am in the Twilight Zone, and I send my love from the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I'll send my saltiness from the Twilight Zone, probably.
Here, we can all go to... Wait, do either of the Twilight Zone... I know one of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terrors is gone, but are they both gone?
I think
There's 3.
Oh, there's
is
3?
still there, right?
There's one in Tokyo. There's the one that's in Disney World, and there's the one that was in Disneyland.
Well,
I think the Anaheim one's gone. The Orlando
Anaheim's gone.
At least we can go there and contact Weibel from the Great Beyond in the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Anyway, probably my favorite ride.
You just get visions of a man squashed under a 10-wheeler.
Probably my favorite ride at Disney World. Somebody asked me what it was on the Under Construction episode a few weeks ago. Anyway, speaking of which...
is your favorite ride at Disney World?
That's probably it. That was my favorite when I went there.
Okay.
It's kind of a weird one to be my favorite, but anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, speaking of Under Construction, I just finished making the route review finally. I was going back and forth with TT Cheney, who is somebody we see in the Steam list a lot, for games. Well, we're trying to set up the podcast, and it took a bit to get his route done, but I actually found it really cool. He's sort of got a real tangle of lines going on, a lot of nice open space for running, and I can play. It's like a playground sort of route. There isn't a lot of serious like switching or anything going on over there. It's just a couple of yards and a lot of track that goes all over the place. So
okay,
I find it
I'll
really
have to check out that review.
Yeah, check it out. It'll be out probably before this comes out anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
yes,
if we want to talk about just a railroading playground, I actually compared it to a model railroad, and TJ and I spent a lot of time at our model railroad yesterday. Well, I spent more than he did, but
I spent some. You spent a lot.
TJ.
I got there at like 1 o'clock, which is later than later than I would have liked to, because there was a scenery committee meeting at 11 o'clock that I totally forgot about, and JB was not happy because nobody showed up to his scenery committee meeting. But there was like another thing that was.
Are you on the scenery committee?
Anyone can be on the scenery committee if you show up for the meeting. That's the point of it. It's like, okay, we're going to discuss scenery. Whoever wants to discuss scenery, please show up for these meetings. And it was just him. So he was
the only one that wanted to discuss scenery.
Well,
then.
I can't say he wasn't warned, because there was some like layout tour going on today, or show, that Ray brought up at the monthly meeting when he was like, we're going to have a senior committee meeting. He's like, I don't think anyone's going to be there. And he said, well, we might have a second one then. So I guess we're going to have a second one, because nobody was there. Except for JB and myself and a couple of other people, including yet another Chris in my life. He's a trial member. He was there with me when I was on my own on the snow day. It was nobody else showed up, and then he came out of the blue, and I was like, oh, hey, I haven't met you before.
hi there.
Hey.
Oh, there.
Yeah, but I'm going to vouch for him at whatever his, whenever he's going to get voted in.
Okay.
Yeah. I've only ever witnessed one person not get voted in, and that person was person X.
Yes.
Anyway.
The person.
Yeah. I found these little coaches that are like heavyweight versions of egg liners, and I put them behind Madison's engine, and they just live there now.
Oh, the little 3-axle
Yes.
jobs?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Good.
and what else did I do? I don't know. I did a bunch of other stuff. We have a bunch of New York Central stuff on the layout now, as well as that A class that I talked about last time that was formerly a member's stuff that we now have. And I don't know. I just did a lot of running. I do a lot of running. I try to keep trains moving, I guess.
Nice.
Just in case we get somebody that comes in and is like looking around the layout, they have something to look at. Because especially on a day when there aren't too many people, there just aren't too many trains running.
Well, I hope you're doing about keeping the trains moving than UP did the other day.
Oh,
While I
God.
was talking about whale fanning.
Oh, yeah, you witnessed this.
Yeah, I was an eyewitness to this, and I'm going to put some photos that don't even describe half of the situation. So basically, Union Pacific runs a freight train from Eugene to Portland that makes a stop in Albany Yard.
Mm-hmm.
And normally, they get on the passing track to perform the move and whatnot, so that way they don't block the main line. Well, on this particular day, they didn't do that. They just straight up blocked the main line, with Amtrak 14 behind them.
The main line being in
Good
the
job,
platform
Howard.
of the station, just to clarify.
Yeah.
Track.
Yeah.
For
Yeah, it's
how
a
long?
one-track main line. About an hour and a half.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't there some legislation somewhere that has to do with Amtrak getting the right of way?
Yes, but nobody
Yeah.
ever listens to it.
Yeah. No one is.
No one listens to it because no one calls them on it.
Well, because what are you going to do? Hey, don't do that. Okay.
Does it again.
Yeah.
Hey, we told you not
Don't
to
do
do
that.
that.
It's like-
Don't do that.
You need to build a wall between you
around
Pacific and
the
Amtrak.
Amtrak lines.
Yes, although we'll get more into that later.
Oh boy, yeah. Fun
Going to
times.
build a wall between the trains and the river.
Then I wound up catching the Amtrak train that was held up by this UP
Oh
freight.
my god, those things are so orange.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are the most orange
Uh,
G&W units I've ever seen.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that is very, very
Is that a
orange.
C&W
Oh.
unit?
No, that's
Okay.
something. St. Lawrence and the Atlantic
Oh,
unit.
okay.
What is
Wait,
that?
what? It's a St. Lawrence and Atlantic engine?
We have two of them on the P&W.
But that's in Maine.
And one of them is still in, well, this one is still in its old paint scheme. The other one got painted.
TJ, remember the tracks that we went by when we were out at the Forest Rally?
Yeah.
That's St. Lawrence and Atlantic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a little far from home.
Yeah.
Little
The
bit.
hell? God damn it, G&W. We have to talk about them later, too. We have a piece of news on them. Kind of big news, too. Anyway.
Alright, but that's about all the whale fanning I did. I also went to a whale fan photography show in Swap Meet
Cool.
Cool.
yesterday. And that was incredibly fun, except for I was the only person that manned our booth.
Oh, that
And
sucks.
And I wasn't prepared to do it.
Oh no.
I didn't have any brochures. I didn't have any displays.
They didn't have
Oh,
anything
no.
for you?
No, I was anticipating there being someone else that would bought the brochures and the displays. And I had some stuff ready to go, but I didn't anticipate, having no display. So,
So you were just an empty booth?
yeah, pretty much.
Wow, that sucks.
Wow.
That stinks.
That's like a major
There was a few
clerical
miscommunications
failure. Yeah,
there.
you should definitely
Yeah.
have people lined up. Now, we and I mean like the royal we bust on Jack Romano a lot at the PN, but he,
Poor word choice.
yeah, we bust his chops a lot. I mean,
Yes.
just because of the way he is, but he gets things ship shape for the Big E. Like
Oh yeah, he does. He's
You know.
prepared.
he knows the ins and outs of everything that has to go on for that, and he
But it's
makes
also
sure
really
we follow
funny.
it for to a T. But yeah, we bust his chops a lot because he's super super particular about all of that.
It's not the big
well,
A or the big I or the big O.
Bustin'.
Despite that, I had about a dozen people stop by our booth and wonder what we are.
That's
So-
nice. You can talk to them. Just like,
And I got to talk to the vendors too while I was out and about walking around.
you should have just laid down on the table like in the paint me like one of your French girls pose, just to see if people
Yeah.
came over to that. Like, hey.
Yeah. But geez, it's alright. But I did walk on the show a few times and did get some good deals on stuff.
What'd you get?
I got the picture when the picture send. I have a track chart from 1995 for Donner Pass,
Ooh.
and it has all the grades and what the curvature.
We need to make like an
curves.
archive of all the stuff that we have, like a communal horseman
Yeah.
archive of track maps and just regular maps and like,
Open world map, but with profile maps.
yeah. But just for us.
Yes.
And we can charge
So it's the closed world map.
and we can charge access.
Indeed.
What is okay, Milky? I saw this picture in the like when you posted all these pictures, and I gave a thumbs up to it.
Yep.
But what is that little engine with the
Mhm.
stack
Little
coming out of the
engine
top
is-
of the cab?
The oil engine is Oregon and California Railway number A.
Oh, what?
Why?
Even its number matches the way that it looks.
Hey.
It's a real Italian engine.
It was one. I think it was the
Huh.
first engine, the one on the Oregon and California, and possibly the first engine to operate into my town.
That is actually really cool that you have a picture of it now, and it's so adorable.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest looking thing, but it's
It's
adorable.
So
Does it have
Not
like?
really dumb.
Does it have like inside cylinders?
hang on.
Oh wait,
I-
no,
I
they're
need-
outside. I can see them, but they're behind like
Yeah.
the glare.
They're
Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah,
Small,
Yeah,
small,
they are.
small.
Small.
Teeny, weeny, weeny.
it is like a vertical
Yes.
boiler thing.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Say that one again.
Yeah, the first
Odd.
picture is the stuff I paid for. Supervisors Incident Prevention Bulletins from Southern Pacific. I got them for $1, so I thought, why not? And then the Sacramento Division Special Instructions from 1969 I got for $1 too.
Nice.
So that kind of ties in with the map chart for Donner Pass.
Mhm.
Cool.
And right now on my wall, I have the picture of the Decapod and the NYC Atlantic. Right. That was in the free. All this stuff in the second picture is in the free pile. I kind of
Seriously? Damn.
yeah. And
Free,
one of the
free,
things
free, free.
was, yeah.
Free.
And one of the things was this other that was wrote in 1928, and it's from the roadmaster in Ashland, Oregon, asking Southern Pacific for a new rail car, or for a new motor car,
What happened to the old
because
one?
his old motor car couldn't make it over the Siskiyou Mountain.
Oh, gee.
So
I need a better
He-
one.
yeah. yeah, basically. And he even did the expenses, which came out to $196.
Damn. It's expensive.
Yeah,
Just a big butt.
I don't know if he ever got his new motor car, but I
The
hope he
world may
did.
never know.
Yeah,
One of life's great mysteries, isn't it?
yeah. I also got a DVD on North Coast Pacific locomotives. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know if it's on it.
Nice.
And I also got 2 blueprints for depots there in Wisconsin, I think.
Cool. On the
And,
note of videos, sorry.
okay.
Are you done?
Are you?
I also
Are
got
you
timetables
finished?
I
and
didn't-
stuff.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Are you
Yeah.
done?
I also got a timetable for the coastline and a ticket and whatever the hell this DVD is. I don't know. Go ahead.
Alrighty. Well, this is actually something that I found, and then TJ and Chris were along. We were sort of figuring it out. Apparently, Amazon Prime. Just you mentioned train video.
Yeah.
On Amazon Prime, there are a lot of the old like Questar videos and a number of like
Rail-
Steam in the Autumn, Steam in the Winter. What was the production? Do you
I think it was,
remember?
like Rail Yard Productions or something.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
Railway
really
Productions.
generic.
Yeah.
Really generic and stupid. They like to pan a lot, but some really neat videos on Amazon Prime for those of you that have memberships. Things that you wouldn't expect.
Mm.
As well, a Tennessee Pass one that I haven't had the chance to watch all the way through, and it really is just watching diesels, which is not particularly interesting, but the scenery is good. So
Yeah, it's a really cool
Yeah.
place.
Nobody cares about.
While I may not be interested in the trains, I am interested in like the beauty of the area surrounding them.
yeah,
I'm mildly
great to look at.
interested in the trains.
I need
Although I
to
will
tune
s-
into one of these sessions at one point because I keep missing them.
Yeah.
TJ finally
Yeah.
explained to me what a rabbit is, so okay, I guess I'll watch.
Rab.it.
Yeah, whatever. Rabbit.
If a,
Although
Yeah,
you missed the best walk session that we did, memes. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
we
those
did
were-
a couple try not to laugh challenges.
Oh
Yes.
god damn it!
some of them were really bad, and some of them were really funny.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's that. Ellis, you seem to have added something under your trackside.
What did I add? I forget.
Els.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
no.
did.
I mean, there are a couple of things that I wanted to talk about, but So I'm gonna get to see 611, 844, and 4014 in the span of a year.
Nice.
And,
Nice.
you know, that's pretty awesome. I think. I think.
Yeah,
am
for
I-
a foamer.
Yeah, I know I'm a foamer.
Oh!
The only other person that might, that in the group might be doing that is Jader if he makes it to both of the trips, and it's up in the air for both of them for him right now. So I don't know anyone else that's going to be at both, but I already, we're going out to the Golden Spike in May. It's actually right around the corner, really, and then in September
Yeah.
I have 5 tickets for 5 people on the 2:30 train behind 611 on September 29th in the open air car.
It's gonna
because
be awesome.
How else would you ride?
Yeah.
So I'm
On the roof.
I'm super excited. I'm
I'm very excited.
I wasn't even thinking about it, right? And of course, we have like a million articles on this. 3 different people posted 3 different articles on 611 going to Strasbourg. And I was totally on the fence about buying a ticket because I figured, I've ridden Strasbourg before. Like, I've gone up and down the track. I know how it is. I'm not going to get
Right.
anything
It's
new
not-
by riding up and down. And then Chris said to me, this might be the last time that 611 pulls passengers in a while. And I went, oh crap, you're right. If this is the last time for a while, I want to be able to have ridden
The
behind
experience.
611 on my FOMA
Yeah.
resume. And this probably, and
Well, yeah.
thinking about it, this is probably the cheapest 611 tickets will ever be
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, it's $17
Yeah,
for
it's-
behind 611 is a
Jeez.
steal.
Very true.
Yeah. Because it's just normal
Yeah.
Strasbourg fare. It's like Strasbourg going, hey, we're going to borrow your engine. Can we borrow your
Right. This is ours
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Wait, when have they done that before?
yeah.
engine?
Keeping an
God,
engine
God,
that's not
God.
theirs?
This is ours now.
Well, no, it's more like
Gen-
Uncle Lynn going,
genuinely,
"This is
though,
mine
and-
now."
This is mine now. Damn, son.
Where'd you find
Where's
this?
I am-
Bob?
Colorado.
Genuinely excited for you guys, though. That should be really cool to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Mm.
I wish you were
And I'll
coming down
finally
then.
meet some of these guys.
Yeah. They first announced the trip, and it's like, will it be in the next 2 weeks?
No. Yeah, and I just went out and bought a bunch of tickets, and Chris was like, you didn't have to do that. And I was like, it's my birthday gift to you.
Yeah, also, it would have been sold. It's probably sold out by now.
Oh, yeah, it might be.
Boy.
I'm not gonna
Probably.
check, because I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I want Jader to see if he can figure it out, and if he can figure it out, then we'll deal with that then. Because there might be people like scalping tickets, or there might be somebody who doesn't show up, and then, we
Right.
can get a ticket last minute or something, or we can
And
just
then
sneak
we'll
him on.
scalp tickets.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was tempted to get a 6th one, but then I'm like, these aren't expensive tickets, but now I've bought a lot of them.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Yeah. Oh my god, foam
I guess
adventure.
that leaves me.
Yeah. Chasing that double header. Though, Wybold. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, that's going to be... We need to figure out what we're going to do for that.
Yeah, I feel like that's not something that we need to really, like, deliberate on ahead of time, though. It's not gonna...
No.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
great. We'll figure it out like the day before, kind of see what everybody's feeling. If there's something else that comes up that we want to do, then we have a day for it. And if not, then we can come back to Golden and have sort of a day to dork around and do something around here.
Yeah.
But that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
The last time I saw 844, actually, I'm just now realizing this, was leading a doubleheader with 3985 on.
Oh, seriously?
844 was on the point, and 3985 was, trailing behind in the doubleheader. And I think we're going to see them before they actually leave in the doubleheader, but that's just kind of an interesting thing.
That's awesome.
Mm.
I didn't...
Plus.
You might be one of the only people I know that ends up seeing all three of the UP engines in Steve, that you might be one of the only horsemen to have done that.
Yeah, I think
Because
so.
I don't know
maybe
too many
Achilles?
people that have seen 3985.
I think
I
Achilles has.
Achilles, I would guess, if there's one other person in the group that has, I would guess it was him.
Yeah, it'd be him,
Graham.
if anyone.
Potentially Graham.
Yeah. I don't know.
3985 was
I don't know.
really low.
Graham does a lot of stuff, but I don't know if he might have been like too young to see that.
Yeah.
He's a few years older than us, or a few years younger than us, rather.
Yeah. That's true, I guess.
Although so
Yeah.
is Achilles.
Because I saw it on the trip right before it had the big failure, before they took it down, rebuilt it, and then ran it for a little while longer.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually on the trip that I saw it. It was a couple miles before it broke down
Oh
that it
man,
went by.
imagine if you had borne witness to that.
Oh God.
That, ooh.
Well, I think it was in like second grade, or I was just starting the second grade. It was a long time ago, but it's a very vivid memory. It was freaking awesome. It'll be awesome to experience it with you guys with just a slightly bigger locomotive.
Yeah, just a slightly bigger one.
Mm.
Anyway. So, what else? What have the rest of us been doing?
I
The
done
only
some work
oh, go ahead.
particularly on my branch sign that I've been working on. I got all the terrain done, and now I'm just working on putting details in. And putting Easter eggs all over the map, because my map's Easter eggs.
Wait, seriously, all of your terrain is done?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a milestone.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm just working on scenery. And I also did quite a few weekends, particularly for the Geiger Western Railway, which is a predecessor company to the Albany and Western. And it because she asked me one day, why is the Albany and Western when it once out of Geiger City?
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about it and created this railroad as this
I am gonna need to re-review your route again. Once it's all,
Well, it's a separate route from the route there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was your main route.
No. Oh. No, it's a 20 some odd mile isolated route for now.
Okay.
Speaking of routes you might need to re-review, though.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
I do not have any pictures because they're on my other computer.
Wow, you suck.
But the railroad that I've been working on, the city one, now has a line that connects it to another town.
Ooh.
So pretty much all the scenery is complete up to the new town. And the town's a work in progress. I added an airfield with a plane that works on its own. And there's lots of fields and open space, and it's coming together pretty good. I don't remember what the name of the town is that I just built, but
Doesn't matter. Whatever.
The town with no name.
it's on the station.
Well, I've been
side,
to
so.
this.
Yeah, keep an eye out for that one.
I'm looking forward to it. I like having, some people that I know that have routes that I know it can always be like, I don't have a route to review. Hey, can I just have yours again, or whatever. It was nice though to have TT Cheney sort of come out of the woodwork and be like, hey, I heard you were reviewing a route this week. It's like, awesome,
Yeah.
I want to see it. Give it
So
to
it's
me.
good to get a different face in the
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It was and another route to play
But
on.
we all have our particular styles that we work with.
Mhm.
But it's nice to get a new perspective on it.
Mhm. It's always good to see someone else's work
Yeah.
in trains.
And I get more
Yep.
assets, which is my favorite
Yeah.
part of the whole thing.
There you go.
Dad ass.
You're
Save me
welcome
more
for all the
stuff.
Japanese characters.
I finished downloading. Goddamn! I finished
Yep.
downloading the UMR, and I was like,
boy.
yes, stuff.
Oh my god.
I have so many more houses now.
Good lord. Housen.
Yeah, housing. So
Well,
Erica,
I'm
you tried to
very-
talk.
Yes, the only thing that I've got new is I've actually gotten my Lilybell model restored for
Mhm.
trains.
Oh.
So now it is a working model back in the game.
Awesome.
Nice.
I got a couple of
And there it
okays from people, including who was it? I think it might have been. Yeah, I got a couple of okays from people, including Steve Laro, to do reskins and put them on the DLS of some of his older stuff.
Oh.
For Tolbrand. Yeah.
Like-
Cool.
Like
Yeah.
what?
What was it? I'm looking back at my conversation with Trainman 05, who is like my liaison to all sorts of people. Yeah, the H10. So
Really?
reskin for that, and he asked Leifer about something. Oh, the New York Central Hudson. Like he asked him something, but apparently Leifer replied, but he only replied just a quote of what Trainman had written him in the first place. And so we're both
Huh.
like, what does that mean?
What,
I don't
what
know.
does this mean?
And I said, maybe ask him if he meant to say that. So,
Code.
yeah, it's code. We need to figure it out. We need to crack
Oh.
it.
Steal the Declaration of Independence.
I'm going to need the bug people
Yeah.
for when we have the multiplayer routes.
Yeah. No, I'm,
Because I've reskinned so much content and I haven't really told anyone about it yet.
yeah. I want to see if I can get in touch with the person that gave us that shark nose.
Yeah.
Because I want to reskin that. I want to have that. I mean, I want that to be on the DLS in the first place. Because there's no shark nose on the DLS, and there should be. There's no
Shark
RF
with
at
a QU.
Yeah, shark. It's a fancy shark.
It's a shark. Fancy shark dude.
No.
Yeah.
Give him a
Oh.
point.
Yeah.
God damn it.
If only Togog could come back from the dead. Because I dubbed for him to do a White Pass 10-wheeler.
Mhm.
But-
Or no, never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I was
I knew you and
no. I was gonna say Ben Dorsey.
Uh,
Oh.
You want Togog to come back from the dead so he can do Ben Dorsey?
Exactly.
Oh.
I ship it.
Disrespectful, Ellis.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah, that's right. Teacher is
Fits and
Togog.
chips.
Anyway, all right. Is that everything that we've done in the past couple of weeks? Oh, one more thing, right? One more thing. Essex is running high rail rides to the north end of their track. Last
I was going
Saturday.
to talk about that later.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize we had a article for it.
I just have like the Facebook post.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. They're doing high rail rides, and we were gonna do one, but we didn't get the opportunity. TJ and I were, but they're apparently running them in June as well. So,
Yeah, they're running them in June, September. More information later on.
and they're free. Anyway,
They're free.
all right.
It's the best price.
That means it's time for. Okay, and so what's going on today? Can I have pictures, please?
Yes, you can.
Papers, please.
Papers, please, papers. Well, they're coming.
Bomb,
Bomb.
bomb,
Bomb.
bomb. In one corner, we have the JNR C62, the Venerable. We've
Yeah.
had this thing before.
Ugh.
Yeah, the Honor Bear.
I don't like
Come on,
it.
just give me
the
the
one that's
picture.
Is this the one that's
I already
blessed?
posted a picture.
I got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. That works.
I thought it was a tank engine that was blessed.
No.
I thought we were
Is
gonna.
this
I
one?
thought we were doing the E10 at one point. Anyway, Garbo. That thing's garbage. And in the other corner, we have the K-37s because for whatever
we have
reason,
Chuggus.
Eric.
How are they comparable?
Eric,
I don't.
we're kind of about
They're
to find
not
out.
really, but
For whatever reason, Eric really wanted to face Weibold in 491 in Locomotive Versus.
Also,
wants to be
this
the one
picture
that beats
is
491.
huge.
Yeah.
It's
Also,
a good picture.
It is a very good picture.
is that you in the cab?
No, that's, I believe,
Okay.
Mike in the cab.
Okay.
I'm on the fireman side.
Okay. I was gonna say, if you're in the cab, that's like giving you superpowers. I don't know.
I am in the cab,
You
but I'm not on this side. I'm on the far side.
Eric,
Hmm.
I don't think this is gonna go well for you. This
I
is
think
Chelsea.
it actually will.
this
I
is
think
Weibold at 100% of his power.
it. I don't know. You say that, but to go back to TJ's point, how are they comparable?
Gotta find out.
They're really not. They don't have anything in common besides the fact that they're narrow gauge, and even then, they're not the same gauge.
They also run on tracks.
This
They're
is
also
also
steam
true. They
engines.
both run on
Right.
steam.
That's true.
But-
That's true as well.
but
If
beyond
neither of those,
that,
if
they're
either of those
both-
things weren't true, we couldn't do Locomotive Versus with them.
This
But
is
here we
very
are.
true. They're honest. If I had to be completely honest, I would expect the C62 to come very, very close to winning, if not just absolutely winning, because
Because
They're-
bigger.
well, no, it's not bigger actually. It's
Is it
slightly
not?
smaller, but they're
Looks
not
bigger.
comparable. They're very different engines.
Well-
It'd be like facing a Pacific versus a 440.
One of them has
Except
box drivers.
the Pacific is a smaller gauge.
Other way around. I don't think 91's going to do great against this, if I'm completely honest.
All right, well let's freaking find out, Eric. I think you
How
should go
should
first.
we start? Well, I guess I'll start at the top. What's your local base ID?
9466.
2602.
Seriously?
Nice.
How is
Yes.
a Japanese engine? Whatever.
Ugh.
What does that even mean? I never
It's
get
just
the
a
local
num-
base.
It's just
It's
when
just-
it was
it's
entered.
just yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer because the K36s right next to him are 13.
Ooh.
It's like 1, 2, skip a few thousands later, here it is.
All right.
All right, how many of you existed?
10.
49.
Ooh.
That's not that many, but it's enough.
Yeah.
It's more than the Rio Grande's classic 10.
Classic 10.
We can only order things in tens.
Well, yeah,
That's
and
it.
also you can only order things once because when you don't pay people, they stop making engines for you.
Well, you know,
See
money's
here.
tight.
Yeah.
Should I ask that? I guessed. Who's your builder?
What?
The Rio Grande.
Oh, home built. Okay. I've got Hitachi,
Yeah, we know that
Kawasaki
wins.
Heavy Industry. Yeah, we already know.
Wait, so who wins that?
Hitachi wins because reasons.
Because it's Hitachi.
Oh,
Yeah.
boo.
Because
It makes
when I picture the Hitachi plant, I don't picture a bunch of drunks sitting around a gas torch, which I have a feeling is what Burnham looked like at about this time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we have the. Oh, actually, I should ask this one first. What year?
1928.
1949.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, late build.
And
I'm pretty sure we
there's
have
an
the same
American
valve.
stamp on the builder's plate. It says, you can build this. We're allowing you.
I'm pretty sure we have the same valve gear.
Maybe.
I don't know. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Why don't you ask and find
Yeah,
out?
sure. Why not? Just go right down the list. What's your valve gear?
Wall shirts.
Yep, same valve gear.
All right, well,
Why
this
not?
ball.
Do that. Okay. How?
I'll let him
wait,
have a point.
That's a style point. That's right. Where do I want to start on this? What do I not want to step on?
How many wheels do you have?
Wait a minute.
It's a minefield out there.
Um.
Weibold has
Some
fewer
feet.
wheels.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
Oh yeah, I do. I have a fewer axle. I was thinking it was a Pacific for a second. I don't know why.
No. I thought it was too, but I mean, honestly, again, I thought I had gotten in my head somehow that we were doing the K-37s versus the E-10s. The tank engine
I would
things.
never beat that.
All right. How about this? What's your factor of adhesion?
The factor of adhesion is 4.66.
4.
Oh!
Oh!
Yeah, but that's a metric factor of adhesion. Just kidding.
I was gonna say it's a ratio. What do you mean it's a metric factor?
Shh.
Factor of adhesion 4. Turns out the drunks with the gas torch know what they're doing, sort of.
No, or they got really lucky. But you know.
You know.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's still mine.
It's still
isn't
your
it?
turn. Yep, you gotta keep going.
Shit.
Still yours.
Why not? Let's do tender fuel capacity.
Tender fuel capacity 11.
Tons?
I
Yes,
assume
tons.
it's not 11
Nine.
gallons.
9 tons. Go ahead.
Damn.
All right. What's your driver wheelbase?
1225.
God damn it.
Oh.
12.47.
Ooh,
Oh. Okay.
but the mistake.
What's your engine wheelbase?
I'm sorry.
What's your engine wheelbase?
34.51.
29.08.
Oh.
Whoops, I just put 9 instead of 3. I gave Weibel 6 extra points.
All right,
the,
slow down there, Sonny.
What is the ratio of your driving wheelbase to the overall engine wheelbase?
0.36.
0.42.
That's better.
What's your overall wheelbase? Engine and tender.
62.34.
56.15. Because, God forbid, the rear grand spends money on building bigger turntables.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? I'm looking at these two engines. You look at the K-37. It's like, oh yeah, it's clearly a narrow gauge engine. It's a really fat boiler on a really squat frame. It's like the J&R thing actually looks like a normal size engine. Although,
It just looks like a small Hudson.
yeah, part of me expects you to be able to walk up to it and tower over the thing like it's 15-inch gauge. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
Nope.
it just feels small for some reason.
Yeah, the scale is like off a little
Yeah.
bit for some reason. You don't know why.
You're gonna walk
Yeah.
up to somebody's gonna walk up to it and sit
standard.
on the tender, like.
That's O standard. We're O27.
Okay, yeah, there you go. All right, well,
At least I think that's how O gauge works. I don't
I
know.
don't know how
I don't
gauge works.
remember.
I don't think that's how that works, but
I'm not no gauge person.
I'm pretty
so
sure that's
crucify
just a
me later.
kind of track, not even like a width.
Crucify me in the comments. Although, wouldn't the track? Never mind.
I think it's the
I say,
scale.
wouldn't the track gauge affect the width? Looking at the pig that is Peaches
I,
with her big dopey smile.
Boo hoo hoo hoo.
Let's do your axle loading. Which was
Axle loading,
stupid, 'cause axles.
35,450.
39,700.
oof. Well, Eric gets it. Whoops! I don't know how to write a 6. There we go.
Good job.
Is that the second time?
That's not the second
yes,
time
it
I've
is.
screwed up 6, but it's the second time I've screwed up typing.
Typing's hard. It's okay.
Let's see here. How much water can you hold?
Why do I not just know this off the top of my head? It's 6,000 gallons. Duh. Yep, there it is.
Duh.
6,000. 6,000.
You hold a little bit more than I do. 5,821.
Really?
Yeah.
That's oddly specific.
Well, because it's converted from metric.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
This one actually is metric.
It is
I'm not
metric-
making this
well,
one up.
It's a metric.
It's a metric conversion. That's a minefield. That's
That's a minefield.
that one I know I lose.
I think I know what you win.
Let's try. Yeah, let's go ahead and try this. What about your cylinders, diameter by stroke?
I knew it.
20.47 by 25.98.
Damn, 20 by 24.
I didn't know it.
Let's see here. How big are your drivers in diameter?
44 inches.
68.9.
I never would have guessed that
Um,
Eric won that one.
Yeah, I know. I can
I'm
tell.
shocked. As I
Uh,
preface this battle with, I'm shocked the way that this is going. Wow.
Boiler pressure
200.
227.70.
Well,
Metrics.
Let's see here. Robert Lehman's power computation.
9320.
Oof.
Damn, that's close. 94.36.
Nice.
Oh, that is close. At least there's
same
some
as
parity
above,
here.
plus superheater.
11,091.
12,455.
That's close.
Same as above, but substitute firebox area.
59,262.
65,030.
Holy cow.
Power L1.
13,113.
27,432.
Ooh, wow.
Power MT.
779.85.
1,273.2.
Holy cow. That was a clean sweep.
No? You sound surprised.
I am surprised. Normally there's at least one that's backwards.
Mm,
That entire section is going to be a minefield for me. What's your minimum weight of rail?
where'd it go? This one I
Actually,
don't
I think
know
you won
off the
that
top
one.
of my head.
Also, we're at 20 points.
62.
79.
Okay, so I won one.
Yay.
All right. What's your firebox area?
216.36.
249. What's your grade area?
41.44.
46.6. Evaporative heating surface.
1803.
2102.
Wow.
Superheat. Or wait, no, let's not do that one. Let's do combined heating surface.
2636.
Damn, 2597.
Aw.
Ooh.
Hey, I have a question.
What's up?
What?
Tractive effort.
God damn you.
I want to know.
37,000 pounds. That's not actually what it is, but I'm just saying 37,000. That's what it is.
30,580.
Really?
How did you not
Yep.
think you were going to win that one? You're a Mikado versus a Hudson.
I thought these things were stronger.
It's a Hudson.
I guess the wheel. Well, yeah, but he has a higher boiler pressure and bigger pistons. I guess the wheels are just that much more massive.
Also, the weight distribution on Hudson sucks.
Very true.
yeah.
And the weight distribution on a Mikado, especially one of the 4, is pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So the ball's in my court. What's the
no,
score?
it's not, because Eric got the last one.
Oh, that's right. You asked that one.
I just
Okay.
asked that.
Uh,
It's holy cow. Oh, it's 11:15. Yeah, I called it when we were at 20 points, but nobody heard me.
What's your total weight? Engine and tender.
Where'd my stats go?
Just get rid of them because you expected a move.
No, I tabbed over to the photos. This is my organization with tabs. I've got 5 tabs open and I can't keep track of where anything is.
Ooh,
Meanwhile,
the
Ellis is
worst.
over here with 30.
I have 3 pages of tabs open right now.
Oh my god.
God.
To answer your question, 307,250.
317,091.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm
I
heavy.
love that one. Fat boy. Partially because you have a cast smoke box. Why?
I don't know.
British influence.
Yeah, why?
Because they took over half the world.
Well, they didn't have cast smoke boxes though, and we were the ones that made some of their first engines.
Mm. They did.
All right.
They sure look like it. It reminds me of a
They
British
made some of their very first, but remember the little porter?
No. I mean, no. I'm asking a question about the cast smoke boxes. I was just looking at that. And
Oh,
that's why
British
it
engines?
just looks familiar. It looks like a British engine to me, but
Yeah, I'm looking at the body of it itself, not the door.
gosh, the body.
I believe theirs are just rolled plate like ours are.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wash your
There's-
body.
See the wash the body. You see the rounded edge of the front of the smoke box? How it sort of domes
Oh,
over
you know
on the
what?
front?
I see it. Yeah. It's like a
Yeah,
Sherman turret.
it's not just rolled plate like everybody else in the world does.
You know why?
Anyways,
Because it's cast with
Why is that?
honor.
oh no. Ugh.
Anyway.
All right, let's go to style points. I'll throw out the cheap one first because you're the one that started it. We hauled the uranium that bombed your asses, so
Jesus.
Ooh.
I mean, you did, but the boiler comes from engines that were there when you dropped the bombs.
yeah.
It's actually kind of intense. I like that.
Radioactive, radioactive.
Yeah, did any of the engineers die horribly of radiation poisoning?
I have no idea. Probably.
And no.
Okay, the K-47s have whatchamacallit? Right, trying-
A point for engineers on
Train 9 steam.
Yep.
the... Do you have
We have train line
Do you
steam.
have train
We have
line
a
steam
doghouse.
/ comfy seats?
I do.
You do? Okay.
I do.
No comfy seats point, but doghouse point.
Yep.
Doghouse point. I also have
Mhm.
doors.
Oh, that's right. He does have doors. Those are kind of a big deal around here.
As well, this is one we haven't touched on before, but having been at the edge of this capacity before, you're glad for it when you have it. I have more safety valves than you do. You have 2 and I have 3. having got to the top of the hill and lifted 2 of the safety valves, you want that capacity when
You
you
want the
need it,
third one.
because I just about sucked the seat up my ass.
The JNR thing has balancing rods on the drivers. Or drivers,
And
on
power
the
reverse.
distance. Oh yeah, it has
And
it on both of them. Holy crap, I didn't notice the little rods.
Oof.
I hold the speed record for narrow gauge engines.
Congratulations.
Bible's engine has a headed hood light, and that looks
A
cooler.
headed hood light.
Yes.
Eric's
The hash
engine,
flinging.
Eric's engine can wear drum heads on the pilot, which is kind of cool.
What's that?
Let's see here. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Hudson Soft came to its name because of the C-62.
What did?
Okay.
Hudson Soft.
The game company.
Oh, okay.
The
I've
game
never
company.
I've never heard of that, but okay.
Okay, I've never heard
You
of it.
would if
either.
you played not Kirby. What the fuck have they done? Beside the point.
Okay, anyway.
You have better balance.
Who does? What does?
You.
Me.
No.
Oh.
We have better lateral balance because even though we're on the little itty bitty tracks, we've got the counterweights way out there with a lot of weight that keeps us, rooted and balanced.
Less likely to tip over. Unlike some engines
Yep.
that don't exist yet.
I will qualify that. We're less likely to tip over or do something stupid until the counterweights get out of sync. Then
And
you're
that all
going
happens.
6.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu, or 493, depending on your, whatever. Also, you actually have brackets for marker lights, which, if you got the drum head point, I feel like that's only fair because American style.
Yeah.
What is a drumhead?
Also, how many colors did you come in?
You can get in any color you want, except as long as it was black.
We came in black and green.
I don't want to
Yeah.
give a point for that.
That's a point. That's a point. Green.
That
I
is
don't
a point.
want to, but I gave
is
it
a
anyway.
point.
Yas.
Yeah.
I'm
You both have
blessed.
power reverse?
No,
Uh,
you did. I already pointed that one out, didn't I?
No. I don't have a point for it written down.
Oh, well, yeah, he has power reverse.
Okay. I didn't notice. Or I didn't. So you don't have power reverse?
so-
Sucks.
You know how much we talk about Robert Lee Messina's power computation
Oh.
and the studies
Yeah.
of Robert Lee Messina and all the stuff that Robert
Yeah.
Lee Messina looked at?
Yep.
Back in his days of researching in the library at the museum, there was only one engine on property that had Walschaerts valve gear, and it was a K-37. So Robert Lee Messina's reference for a lot of the Walschaerts-based studies and computations are off of
Okay, we get it. He
K-37.
loves the K-37s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, we have mechanical and non-strictly hydrostatic lubrication, which is a good thing.
Which Eric doesn't.
Yes, Eric does not have. Well, he has hydrostatic lubrication.
I
as opposed to-
I have no idea how to tell the difference, so I'm just, I just needed to clarify that. I'm looking at this engine going like,
I'm looking at it and I don't see a mechanical lubricator, so I'm assuming they have a hydrostatic, because otherwise how the hell is it getting oil?
Do you guys both just
Magic.
have one cross compound?
Yes.
Yes.
Just making sure.
I've been blessed.
your windows
I've
in
been
the front are tiny. Holy crap! I didn't even notice, Eric. You have like a freaking porthole.
Yes,
And
He
also,
does
Yeah.
actually. Why is it round?
because Japan.
because Japan loves the ocean.
Also, this is something that just bothers me on a mechanical level that I think is worth pointing out. Why is the leading axle of your tender forward of the tank?
I really would like to know that because
I didn't even notice that.
it's not perma-coupled. That's what bugs me.
It
It
just...
probably looks really stupid
Why?
when you uncouple it. Also, do you have an all-weather cab, Eric?
He does.
I do.
Damn, I didn't notice that until now. I was zoomed in and I was like, wait a minute, that's a door.
He does. He also has roller bearings on the trucks, not the rods, though. So he just gets the 1 point.
I probably would have only given 1 point for roller bearings all over it.
Well, you know.
Or like
What is your survival percentage?
I know yours is better than mine.
Okay.
I was about to
That's
ask
why I
how many
didn't
are
ask.
left.
it.
How many? Wait,
I
well,
have
now
like-
I have to ask. How many survive?
Fuck. 8.
5.
Holy crap! 8?
Yeah. That's why I didn't ask it. 'Cause
I wasn't
knew-
asking it either, because I figured you had a better chance of more surviving. You had, almost 5 times as many as we did.
Also, it's Japan.
Yeah, I had a 10%. You practically have 100%.
Yeah, well, that was my point, Alice. It's Japan.
Okay, well, dumb question. How many run?
Can I count 93?
Hold on. Maybe. I'll give you like 1.5. Eric, how many run?
See here. One is running, but the other one is stored in serviceable condition.
Alright, whatever.
97 is also stored in serviceable condition.
Ooh. Yep. I both got a point there.
So we've each got one that's running and one that's stored in serviceable condition. As well, the K-37s have one that will start running in the next year.
But is it running right now?
No.
Yeah, no, you know
But
what? I'm just gonna
fair.
let that wash. I'm just gonna let that wash.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe if it was next year.
All right, fine. How many fuels do you have? Milky'll like this one.
What? Oh, god
Yeah.
damn it.
How
Yeah.
many-
That doesn't
Oh,
count
yeah.
yet.
Yeah, it does.
And why not?
I'm
Because
for
it's
it.
not running yet.
It still exists. It's there.
Just-
It should.
They have the
That's a
parts
style
made
point
for
for
it.
the 37s. They're going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have oil burning.
Okay, you
Yeah.
know what? That's
As
fine.
much as
You
I
know what?
hate it.
That's fine, and you know why? Because you said it's going to have. This is it's engines that are still receiving improvements.
Yes, also true.
Asterisk.
As well, how often does one of your engines run, Eric?
Every day.
Okay, well then that's a wash.
Oh, we gotta go see this thing.
Yes.
Japan.
I'm trying to think, I didn't really prepare for this. I wasn't expecting Eric to be on today, so I didn't reach back and think of all the
Come
cool
on
K-37s.
and welcome to
I've been
Japan.
blessed.
We've already got that one.
No,
I
we
did
didn't.
not hear. I
no,
didn't
no,
hear.
we didn't. We didn't get the blessed.
Okay.
God damn, you...
That's the equivalent of
I've appeared
Third time it's
in.
been brought up, just to throw that out
that's
there.
the equivalent of Robert
Hey, it's still a
Lamacina.
style point, damn it.
You've been blessed. We have flags.
Yeah, but they have birds.
Have you appeared in any media?
Yes.
Damn. So that's a watch point.
Wait a
Go
minute.
away.
Question.
Answer.
Regular model?
Like
Physical?
Physical model?
Yes.
Okay.
Lots of.
Trains model?
Yes.
Yes.
Lots of.
Okay. Just making sure. I knew I have 491 downloaded. I wasn't sure if I had the C62. Although no, I should remember that because that's why I have the stupid anime in my trains. All right, never mind. I should know both of those. I have them both.
Oh, that's something I should look at. Also, we have non-lifting injectors, which you do not.
Ooh.
Which, to anybody who's ever fired a locomotive, non-lifting injectors are nice.
I have 2 headlights.
Congrats. So do I.
What?
Just one of them going backwards.
That's not.
No,
Doesn't it light though?
I'm gonna give each of you 1 point. One for Eric having 2 headlights, and one for Wild having a reverse facing head.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure I do have a backup light.
Never mind, Wild doesn't get that point.
Well, fine. Not all of them do, which is stupid.
Goofy cars.
I'm trying to look it up, or trying to fact check it rather, but I think the K-37s ran the last revenue train on.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I kind of wish you hadn't said that though.
Why?
No reason.
Okay.
There has to be a reason.
Well,
I'm
that's
sure,
for you to find
I'm
out.
sure it
isn't
was because he's like keeping it in his back pocket or something like that. So if you came up with something, he would. Whatever.
No.
Never mind.
No.
Well, I think I get it. I'm not going to say it, but I get it.
Thank you.
I mean,
Well, that's. In fairness, that's not really in the spirit of Locomotive Versus. Go ahead and say it, Milky.
well, I was just gonna say before the JNR folded into JR, the C62 did pull the last revenue train too.
Yeah, but did they keep running Steam after that?
For a little bit.
All right.
So-
No, I'm not counting it then.
No.
I will say the one just out of, I guess, honor to be topical. When were you taken out of service, Eric?
Was it the 70s, I believe? I'll check that.
68 for me.
Yeah, 71 was officially taken out of
Damn.
service.
Damn, son.
That was the reason I was
Actually,
hoping
no, I take that back, 73.
that up because it would direct minds toward when did the last ones run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
73 was the last one for me.
Technically, the last Steam on the Rio Grande were those 2 Park engines, right?
Yep. If you want to be really technical, yep.
But they don't run
I have
freight.
Bach.
Also, we actually carry rerailers on the tender because shit
Let's
happens.
just not get into
Oh,
why.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good move. Let's not get into why, but we carry rerailers on the tender. Also, our snifters aren't covered by giant but see on the side of the C62 where the cylinders go up, there's this big sheet metal plate covering the gap between the cylinder and the running board that's covering the snifters, and there's no reason why, as well as the terminal checks.
It looks good.
But it doesn't, and it covers the snifters and the terminal checks.
It looks
I think
weird.
it looks good.
And it covers the snifters.
I know, he said that.
Did I mention the snifters and the terminal checks?
Do I get points for having Box?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I was wondering if anyone was going to bring that up, because I did see that. It's like,
Yeah.
hold on.
We have a friendly remainder.
How about this, Eric? I'll say I'll support you getting points for box pack drivers if you also lump in the fluted motion, because they kind of do the same thing.
Wait, what
I'll
does
allow
this
it.
do? What? Huh? I'm confused.
His rods are fluted,
Okay.
All right.
which we agreed to be the same point
All right,
as the box pack.
Okay. What does that mean?
They sort of do the same thing. Box pack, they have better balance as far as the rotary motion is concerned, so you don't need as big a counterweight on one side or the other. The wheel is just more evenly distributed.
Mm-hmm.
And fluted rods, they help balance the reciprocating mass a little bit better.
And by fluted, you mean they're smaller in the middle?
You see,
Is there like high
the
beams?
picture I'm looking
Is that what I'm looking
like
at?
striped.
They're shaped like
Hang
high
on.
beams?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. I was like, I think I know what the word fluted means, but I don't want to just take a guess.
I was looking at the wrong picture. Yes.
Okay. Anyway,
The K-37 has a friendly reminder, the train day on the side of it.
I'm not sure that's... Also, what does it say on the side of the... Oh, wait, that's just like numbers and stuff. You both have embossed number plates.
We also have a bell.
Yeah.
We have a bell too, you just don't see it.
It's
Ooh.
invisible.
Invisible.
Wow.
It's just a ding ding ding
I'm sorry,
ding.
you can give me a
ding,
point
ding.
for that. I
It's
totally
already done.
I totally deserve it, but I just...
It's already done. Wow. I love that so much. The fact that it came from you makes it better.
I didn't even
Also-
hear what he said.
So, looking at the picture that you posted of the C-62s, Eric, what happens if there's, like, a cat or a cow or something in front of you?
It dies.
It dies.
It goes under the
It's like
tree.
Ask Ouija, what if there's a cow in front of the C-62? Death!
And then Elon
Japanese
Musk
cattle are
laughs.
trained not to go.
We
through
have
the cracks.
we have
Why?
a cow exploder. We at least have the decency to blow it up before
Yeah.
it.
Actually, the
Jesus
reason
Christ.
why. Here's the thing, and this is actually really interesting. Any train that goes through a field, if there's anywhere near like a field where cows graze or whatever, it's actually raised. Like there's like a 45-degree angle to where the tracks are.
I think you're
I thought you
underestimating
were going
the
to say for a
tenacity of
second that
cows.
they were equipped with a special whistle that went moo.
No.
It's Japan. Are we really going to say that that's ridiculous?
No, the Tillamook Bay engine.
Wait,
though,
wasn't there an
has that.
article like a year
There
ago
was!
about trains making animal noises?
It is like a
Yes.
cat noise. The steam engine comes into the field, goes "Mrrr," it's like a warning.
Yeah, it's like the friggin' scene of the Polar Express with the caribou.
Oh god.
Caribou.
Caribou. Oh, we pull the Polar Express.
Yep.
Is that a style point?
I'm not giving you a point. for
Yeah,
that.
is that a style point? I don't think
Aw.
it's a
I'll
style
put some
point.
style towards
Lots
that.
of people pull the Polar Express.
Yeah, but they don't.
Only the 1225 pulls the real Polar Express.
Fair. Okay, that's fair.
Even then, it's a ripoff
Yeah.
because they don't pay for royalties.
Even then, it's a weird baby between the 1225 and any D&H engine.
Also, I'm not really sure what to make, Eric, of your throttle arrangement because you've got the linkage is external, which is cool, but it's usually cool because it means that there's a head-end throttle, which is better than a typical throttle like the Q37s have.
But there's not.
But you don't have a head-end throttle. You just have an external linkage for a normal throttle, which means it just leaks in a different place. There's no advantage or difference to it. In fact, there's a disadvantage to it because you have more pins.
Well, I have
That's
a
the
picture of
reason
the.
behind
I
this.
have a picture of the cab.
I'm still laughing at my awful joke.
Well, here's my cab if you wanted to look it over. Maybe you'll know something that I don't.
Why are you sharing information with the enemy?
I feel
Because
like
I
it-
don't know what I'm looking at sometimes, okay? Also, driver's on the left side.
Which is incorrect.
It's also...
That's not something that we're going to...
It's reverse, so... You know what I mean.
It is objectively incorrect. Oh god,
Okay.
we've got cool things. Shit.
Got cool thing.
Why did I look at this picture?
You've
Now
got
I,
cool.
now I can't stay honest and keep the score as it is. Because you have a stoker,
Oh, that's nice.
and you also have a low water alarm.
Oh, what now?
A low water alarm. You see the picture of the cab, top right hand corner, the little single chime whistle thing?
Hold on, I'm opening the tab. Oh, now I have 4 windows.
Oh god.
Congratulations.
I'm loading this
Low
image.
water alarms are pretty self-explanatory. If the water gets low enough, then it blows a warning whistle in the cab. I think like 1225 and 765 and 611 probably has them,
Okay.
but so does he.
Oh my god, you have cool things, damn it.
You got cool
You
thing.
have cool things. I have more air res space.
Okay.
You have just like this one porky, stupid little air reservoir on the side there.
You guys use normal brakes?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
And I would. What's consensus on the sand capacity? Because he has a bigger dome, but it's a combination steam and sand dome.
If we got
And I think
numbers,
the sand is about the same.
yeah, I'm not gonna give a point on that unless we got numbers.
All right. Well, let's. Do you want to tie it up, Eric? I'll tie it up. Let's tie it up.
Let's tie it up.
The C-62s also have feed water pumps,
Oh. Nice.
which is what that big brass manifold, like right in your face, in the cat picture is.
Okay. Well, now what?
Well, shit. I don't think we've ever had a tie.
Oh, we have.
Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe you guys have. I haven't.
Hey, what kind of fittings do you use?
Oh God. ASME standard thread. God damn it.
How the hell would I
No,
know?
I mean, like, I guess I was trying to give so like a Bible could be like Pile National, yeah.
Oh well, yeah. We do have Pile National fittings, but I'm not gonna.
All right, well then it's a tie if we don't have any more points.
Yeah, because the one thing I was about to say would have actually given a point to Leibold.
Well, what was it?
I'm not gonna say it. 'cause
He
it's gonna
gave
give him
you
a point.
multiple
Tell the
points upon
crowd.
seeing your
Alright, I'll
cap.
tell him.
The fact that you're 31 points, I gave you like 10 of them. However, if you don't want to say it, you don't have to.
Do it, do it, do it.
No, we can leave it.
The grades are
Believe
good.
it. I'll tell you later.
Faster.
Tell it after we finalize the score.
After we finalize it, I'll say it.
That's possibly one of my favorite locomotive verses that we've done. Just because, like,
Oh. Shit, I just found one. Never mind.
I
Did you find?
haven't finalized the score yet.
Oh, we haven't?
No, I haven't copied it in
Oh.
yet. I'm just writing the stuff down in the document.
Oh shit, he has box end rods, which are stupid.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The main rod,
Yeah.
it's held, like, it doesn't have a free-floating, Jesus. Oh, hello. It doesn't have a free-floating brass in the main rod. What it has is two halves of a brass that straddle the crank pin and are wedged in place by literally a wedge that you beat into place with a hammer. Really early American engines had box end rods, but after a while they were done away with because they were stupid and constantly fell out of adjustment.
I mean, anything that you have to hammer into place that isn't like a screw or a bolt or, you know.
A, you never hammer screws, and B,
That's my point. You have to hammer it, not a screw or a bolt. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to hammer screws and bolts. I phrased that weird. But
Okay.
okay, well that's 32-31 then.
Well, shit.
All
Are we
right.
finalizing?
Yeah, I'm finalizing right now.
Alrighty,
Damn.
wonderful.
I was at least hoping for a tie.
Well-
I mean, you kept your mouth shut to keep it that way, and then Weibel found something.
Yeah.
That sounds like such a stupid system. Again,
What
anything
is-
that you have
what's
to
the stupid
bang into
system?
place and hope it stays there just by virtue of
Well,
friction.
In fairness, it was great in the early days because they were sort of easy to manufacture, they were quick to manufacture, and if it went out of adjustment, you just got down with a hammer and beat the crap out of it some more. They were easier to grease,
That's
easier
fair.
to oil, whatever. But particularly at high speeds, like this engine would be going, with heavier loads on them, they just didn't stand up as well because you don't have a solid bearing surface. It's two halves of a thing that are kind of roughly held in a circle.
Weibold, question.
Sure.
What are the controls that are all the way on the far right of that picture? Or the far side of the picture, by the
Right of the picture.
right underneath the cab window.
You mean the far left?
That's a good question, considering they don't appear to be linked to anything. I don't know.
I
That's
don't
on your fireman's side.
Oh wait, is it
so
different?
not-
It's a different picture. Damn it. Never mind.
Yeah, it's a different picture.
Okay, let me look at this. I was just staring at it like I can't see anything on the right.
Oh, you have a screw reverse too. That's weird.
Like
This is on
everybody
a different C62, actually. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, ignore that one. Ignore that one. That's a C11.
Oh,
It lied to me. I thought it was a C62. Ignore it.
Okay.
okay. Well, anyway,
I was gonna have to lose again there because then tie again there because this C11 has a cute little rack for the guy's pocket watch at the front.
okay.
I
Whoops,
probably have that too.
I got
to be
overzealous
honest,
and
we
wrote
just
down the
can't-
votes already.
Too late.
Actually, I do have that anyways.
Too late.
Oh, too late.
Too late.
Shit.
You chose to tie dishonorably rather than to lose honorably. This is comeuppance.
That's fair. Honor.
That is fair.
Honor
All is fair
matters.
in love and war.
The
Ugh.
C62 would be disappointed in you, Eric.
It already is.
Anyway,
I think they would like each other though. In the Horseman universe, I think they would like each other.
if
Yeah.
they were to ever meet by some weird
Under some
coincidence.
bizarre circumstance.
Anyway, all right. So the winner
But
is
the
yes.
I was going to say, since we finalized it all, the thing that I was going to say was Weibold has I have a manual door for my firebox, while Weibold has believe a button on the ground, right?
You don't have a pedal? Actually,
I
it
do
doesn't
not
matter
have a
because
pedal.
Actually, it doesn't matter because you have a stoker. That's still kind of dumb, but
That is,
I know
yeah.
you.
I didn't even consider that you didn't have automatic fire doors.
Anyway. Yep. So the K37 wins by the points 32-31. This is a really high-scoring locomotive versus.
Yeah.
Because of all the
Close.
style.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's make our votes. I'm gonna vote for the K37.
I am
honestly,
too.
I don't know. I like the look of it better. It's not my favorite
Yeah.
looking engine, but all right. So I vote for the K37.
I too.
So do I.
Okay. Never mind. No pity vote.
Wow.
Yeah,
Ooh.
In my overzealousness, I wrote the votes wrong.
Really?
I had it marked down as votes 2-1. Just I don't know why. I just automatically wrote that.
Just assumed someone would give it the pity vote.
Well, I assumed that somebody would vote for it. I thought Milky might. You know.
Ugh, doesn't
Uh,
deserve it.
Oh, I like the K37 more.
Yeah, the K37s are hard to beat.
I mean, I don't know. I'd say that from a nostalgic person who's worked on a K37 standpoint, yeah, the K37s are cooler engines. From a mechanic standpoint, though, honestly, the C62s are probably mechanically superior
Right.
machines. They're just newer and built better. Discounting a few stupid little things like why is that covered or why is that type of thing rather than the other type of thing? Or seriously, why don't you have automatic fire doors? Barring those few minor things, they really are stupendous engines. Oh, also, I did mention it. That's right.
What?
Never mind. I made note at the beginning of the fight that you have feed water heaters with the hat on the front,
Mhm.
and then forgot about it, and then reaffirmed it when I saw the
Re-noticed it.
cab picture in there. I re-noticed it when I saw the controls for the feed water heater in the cab picture. That's right.
Anyway, all right. So we're on to Fresh from the Shop. Let's get some news in
Yep.
here. Who's got interesting news?
Good news.
Should we talk about the
everyone.
big elephant in the room first?
You mean
Just
the
to get that out of the way.
611 or something else?
Yeah, 611 to Strasbourg.
All right. Yeah, let's talk about that because we already
Yeah,
started
let's
talking
talk about that.
So what day? So it's there for like a month, right? It's there for 4
Mhm.
weeks.
Something like
They're
that.
doing excursions with it. They're
Yeah.
doing they have a whole weekend where you can pay $5 to blow the whistle. They're doing a charter with 475, I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anything? What am I
Blair
missing? What
was
else am I
just, like,
missing?
Screaming himself.
Yeah.
At the throttle.
Oh, they're doing at the throttle with 611 at
Yep.
Strasbourg. Damn.
Oh god.
So yeah, that's kind of serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I feel like a lot of people saw this coming. I know it's. You know, if it hasn't been in the works, it's been talked about for at least a couple of years. Mostly in
Probably
former
as
circles,
young
as far as I know.
Yeah.
It got leaked like a day early, but you know.
Yeah. Leaked to us. Oh wait, no, that's right. They made the post on the website a day
Yep.
early. I
Yep.
forgot about
Yep.
that.
They made the post on the website a day early.
Oopsie.
Yeah.
Oops.
Whoops.
Oops.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
no.
Yeah, that's really cool. I can't wait to see it. You know, it's gonna
I
be.
can't wait
I
to
mean,
see it either.
I was about to say it's gonna be the biggest engine that I've seen run, but by then I've seen 4014. So
Yeah.
See the biggest engine to run.
yeah.
Yeah.
But what about the competition to 4014, the 1309? Do we have any news on that?
Well, there's some hopes out there.
There's some
Start
hope.
there.
What are they expected to see here? Yeah. Sometime this year, question mark?
They said that last year.
Yeah,
July
and
4th?
They'll be
They said
saying
that
that
2 years
They'll be
ago.
saying that every year until it's done.
God.
So
Yeah,
you know,
July 4th weekend, supposedly.
allegedly.
Which I suppose
I'll hold my
will be
breath.
accurate.
Remember when
Yeah.
we were worried about 4014 for like a week? I remember when we were like,
Yeah.
who's gonna do it first? Who's gonna get done first? Oh my god. It's not.
And then everyone
pro tip,
realized-
not 1309.
Yeah, and then
Well-
everyone realized that it's 1309, the project that is massively over budget and horribly behind schedule, versus the freaking 4014 in Union Pacific.
Yeah. Yeah, the hopes are that it's going to bring huge amounts of publicity and people to the Western Maryland Scenic when it's running. And I'm sure it will, but we don't know when that's going to be.
We don't know when. I mean,
Probably be
considering the
dead.
fact how 734 is looking right now,
Ugh,
she's falling to pieces.
poor engine. That poor engine's been
fall
falling
in,
to
past
pieces for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, part of her smoke box is falling to pieces now.
Just let that
Ooh.
poor engine die. Good
Yeah.
lord.
Where was that engine originally from? It always trips me up, because I know it's not an actual...
LSNI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like an
I
LSNI
mean, yeah, that
engine.
makes sense, because it's chunky.
Yeah.
Big chuggus.
Yeah, big chunky.
So good.
It's a cool looking consolidation.
Yeah, it's an
a
awesome.
neat-
It's like
It
one of my-
really
No,
is.
I
It
don't
just
really
needs
like
to
it
be at a
personally.
better home.
Ellis doesn't like the chunkiness.
No.
Are you fat shaming
I
734?
am fat-shaming 730.
Bastard.
Ooh.
Which is odd, considering you just sided with the
I know the-
37, which
I
are
know,
like
I know.
definition of
Yeah.
like.
I like the proportions of the K37, but not the proportions of 734. Honestly though, I don't know why. I don't know at what point in my life I transitioned in this manner. But I'm not a huge fan of consolidations in general. I don't know. I just don't like the way they kind of sit.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Hmm.
It's.
But-
I know it's just.
But what
me.
about 97?
What about 346?
Yeah,
What about White
346
Path 61?
346 is cute, and 191 is cute. But it's like, in general, I feel like the average consolidation is just sort of like, I don't know about
Yeah,
it.
the kind of like 18.
Yeah. Which 18?
Yeah. Slurge 18, beta
Oh,
rail.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
I can kind of see that.
I don't know. Sometimes the proportions just don't exactly work out. Anyway.
What about 97?
Especially ones with larger boilers. I think that's it.
Yeah, right.
You know.
765's taking her annual trip down to Cuyahoga again.
Yeah.
Oh man, you poor
Okay.
thing, you get a steam engine. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I've made this comment on the podcast
yeah.
before, and I'll say it again. It's been 6 years in a row.
Oh man.
I mean, it's a
Imagine-
great engine.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong.
imagine
It's
how-
a great engine, but
Imagine how annoying that would be if you had a steam engine
let
that
me
was
finish.
in your area.
Let me finish. As a person who likes to see steam trains, I would like to get a variety. Shut up. I'd like to see at least a variety. Give someone else a chance to go down the line. That's
it's
all I
someone-
say.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, well, imagine if you're a railroad and you only have one steam engine, that you use all the time. That must really
We
suck.
used to have another one.
Well, it must really suck for those guys that run steam all the time, but they only have the engines that are there and they don't get engines from other places.
Imagine being a railroad with.
Okay,
60
let's put it to you this way.
half mile
We
of
could
that.
theoretically get 611. We could theoretically get 1225. We could theoretically probably get, I don't know.
Yeah, but are they saying
having
no to
some
611 and 1225, or are 611 and 1225 just not interested?
I don't know. That's the problem.
Yeah, see,
I don't know.
that's-
I'm just saying it could be
latter.
done if the Cuyahoga
Yeah.
perhaps reaches out to them, maybe.
Yeah, but
I mean, we're going to get the
Yeah, they reach down, they reach out and then down and then grab and then they go up and down repeatedly, over and
Yeah.
over and over and over.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
underneath.
But I mean, we're going to get 5550 whenever that's done.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
there's
right.
that.
That's right. They did extend the invitation to the T1 Trust to run there when the engine is done.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad they've got that lined up.
Yeah.
That's
550 running. We're gonna run it on the northeast corner. Do this. What about Amtrak? Amtrak.
Amtrak. Goddamn.
Amtrak.
Anyway, oh crap! Do I have an Amtrak thing? I have a couple of Amtrak things. I have the Amtrak
Amtrak.
report card, as a
Yeah.
matter of fact.
Ooh.
Or
Oh boy,
or-
Amtrak
and-
report card,
Great.
everyone
or
got an F.
specifically an article on it. I don't have the actual report card. I was trying to look for it, I
Damn.
couldn't find it.
You P-Poppy guy Ness.
Yeah, Kevon always freaking finds it, and I don't know. Yeah,
Where you people come up with some of these things, specifically stuff like that.
what?
Like, where does Kevon come up with the Amtrak report card?
Kevon
I
has
just don't know
a
where.
million Google alerts for everything railroad related.
Yeah.
That's what I know. like whenever there's an article posted that's on an accident, he like gets an alert for it and then he posts it. Anyway, so the average grade is a C. First of all, not surprising.
Hey, C's get degrees.
C's get degrees.
My wife.
Okay, let's see if I can get into this here. Canadian Pacific had the best grade, which was an A.
Both.
For the second year in a row. Let's see, what else is here? CSX received a B- grade, which is up from a C last year.
This is like the thing for CSX that's the equivalent to an art class or something in high school, where it's like the one grade they can get that's half decent.
Yeah. Right.
NS got an F.
Oof.
Yeah, for the second year in a row.
NS is not artsy.
Does not surprise me, honestly.
Yeah, I'm going to try to pull up the actual one, but I'll post this article down there. It's a Times Union article about Amtrak delays, and they get into specific trains in a couple of cases, but not it's not overarching stuff. So I'm going to see if I can look up the Amtrak report card.
Amtrak.
Yeah.
Amtrak. Why is the announcer yelling Amtrak at me?
Amtrak.
You guys have any Amtrak stuff?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
I do not. Although, no, that segue would be ill-advised.
Oh no.
On a completely unrelated note, the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad is introducing a diesel-run excursion service from Cascade Canyon, or from Rockwood to Cascade Canyon and back, which is over the High Line and the really photographed portions of the route, for people that don't necessarily have time to do the full day, 3 hours to Silverton and 3 hours back.
Yeah.
This is a quick, easy, see the scenery, ride the railroad, for people that don't really care about it being the full steam experience. They just kind of want to see, oh yeah, yay, we're on a train, that kind of a thing.
Okay.
They're going to begin offering this starting June 17th and running through August the 14th.
They're expecting to have their
No, this is the switch diesel.
Oh, okay. I was like, they're gonna get their diesels already? Holy crap.
That's why I said it was an ill-advised segue.
Well, that doesn't give an indication of what the diesels are. We know they're getting 2 diesels, I just didn't know when.
Also true.
Okay, by the way, here's our report card for 2018. Canadian Pacific gets an A, BNSF gets a B, Union Pacific and CSX get B minuses. Canadian National gets a D minus and NS gets an F.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we had some really, really late Amtrak trains these past couple of weeks, or really couple of days. We had the whole thing with the California Zephyr. One was like 30-something hours behind because of the storm.
Yeah.
Didn't a dam break or something? Does anyone have an article on this?
I don't.
I've never heard about that.
I actually I have this, which is Union Pacific was evacuating people. So they were, they were doing a help. They were rescuing people trapped by floodwaters using high rail trucks.
Good.
So
it works.
That's cool. And yeah, so there was a picture that I found on Reddit that was the 2 California Zephyrs, because the one from the next day caught up to that one that was trapped by the flood, together, and it looks awesome because it's a long passenger train. It's like, man, you don't see this anymore.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Graham was asking me to get him a Amtrak regional consist so we can model it. And so I read it out to him when I was sitting at the station watching one go by, and he's like, "Oh, that's too long. I can't afford that. I need something shorter." I was like, "Okay, go model a Keystone then."
I heard.
What?
Not you. You're good. Keep going.
Well, speaking of Boston, there was a great Onion article today about the mayor throwing the first punch at the St. Patrick's Day parade. But I talked last time about the new commuter rail locomotives, and apparently they've got some high hopes for them.
High hopes.
MBTA officials on Thursday showed off the first of 10 commuter rail locomotives reconditioned under a $30 million investment program. All 10 of the locomotives first entered service 25 years ago. These are some F40s that got reconditioned. And they have approximately another 20 years of life left in them. Now, an extra 20 years, I should say, now that they've had these rebuilds. They've been outfitted with PTC. They expect them to be the highest performing locomotives in the fleet,
Nice.
which means that I might see them immediately on the Providence-Stoughton line, because that is the most in-demand line of the system. It is the busiest line by far. So, I'm looking forward to seeing these guys on the heads of trains whenever they start running out. I know that a couple weeks ago they were in testing somewhere north of Boston. I don't know where. It was like an undisclosed stretch of track.
Did they finally repaint the...
No, I saw that one the other day. It's not one of the ones
Oh,
that got
did you?
rebuilt. Yeah, I saw it the other
Good.
day.
Wonderful.
I was like, here comes a train with an F40, and the F40's on the back because it's backing into South Station, as they do. And I'm just like, wouldn't it be funny if this is the... Oh, it is. It's the Greenville unit.
12 years and counting.
Yeah. So, yeah. This is this article about long-distance trains on Amtrak. So, we don't have an article with a map in it of this, and I'm disappointed that we haven't got more articles about it. But Amtrak recently released a map of what they want the Amtrak system to look like. I don't like it. I'm going to go find it. You guys go talk about it. Alright, you guys
I've
go
not
talk
seen
about
this.
something else.
Okay.
Somebody.
Speak of
Man, stop drinking.
services, there has been a jump to extend the west service of TriMet to Salem. I believe I talked about it last time, but there's another article on it. And it pretty much details what it would entail. And basically now it's a House bill that basically hopes to get commuter rail to Salem in about another 15 years.
And really
Which
rushing for
be-
it.
Which would be
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah. They're taking one small step at a time. But it'd be cool. I don't think they would use the current alignment of the cascades for it. I think they want to use the OE,
Mm-hmm.
which wouldn't be that bad, but it would cost a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to find this map. God damn it! Where'd it
To
go?
bring that rack sign up to modern passenger spec would be hard.
Specs.
Mm-hmm.
What else do I have that could be? Okay, this is also hard because this group is looking to, it is restoring the last Wilkesboro's trolley car, the one that famously came out of the house a few weeks ago.
Oh.
Because it started life as it ended life as a cabin house of some description, and then the owners just kind of built their house around it. And the streetcar was still there.
Oh.
So when they were demolishing the house, they took the streetcar and gave it to these guys, anthracite trolleys, incorporated, and they helped restore it.
Which one is this? Which link is this?
Wilkes-Barre trolley. Right here.
Oh, this is that one. Okay, cool.
Yep. I'm not quite sure what they want to deal with, other than just get it out there, put it in a good home, and do work on it. And apparently they're a third of the way to their goal of 30,000 to we moved the car and cleared the land. Because I think they have to tear down the house too.
Oh.
But they hope to remove it by the end of the year.
Well, that's
So
good.
That's good. Yep.
Very cool, Kanye. Thank you. Did you find the map, Ellis?
No, I'm still looking. I want to know where this damn thing is. I'm gonna look through this other article and see if I can find it. But I don't freaking know. Like I've seen it now twice, but I haven't. I'm still looking. Just keep going. I'll chime in when I find something useful.
Speaking of looking, Northwest Railway Museum is looking forward to the future. They have a master plan schematic on their website that they posted, showing what they plan on doing to the museum. They plan on adding the turntable, roundhouse, no shed, I think, and some site improvements to their current station. And they hope to allow this will allow them to do quite a bit. Not only use the roundhouse for maintenance of steam locomotives, which they have quite a few on their property, but they need a facility, so this is a part of their effort to try and get there. They also hope to have it be an interpretive center of sorts, I guess would be a good way of saying it. And it would provide for off-peak train operations, like smaller operations, just back and forth on their line. Possibly featuring their Puget Sound Electric Railway Interurban Car 523, which is the car that they got donated a few years ago now, and they're eyeballing to restore it to possibly operation.
Mm-hmm.
And it would also provide adaptive space that can be used for large groups during banquets and whatnot, and additional facilities for volunteers.
Cool.
So, good stuff. Good stuff.
Very cool. Very cool,
You know what?
Kanye.
I found like a Wall Street Journal article that might be it, but I can't read the whole thing. So I'm not subscribed to it.
Oh, damn.
Either way, they are also a sidetrack. Milky. So this is the one where it's got the like site plan with the roundhouse and shop and stuff, right?
Yep.
That is really cool.
That is really
TJ
cool.
and TJ and I were talking about this because there's like another one of these in Kentucky that's springing up. We have the Age of Steam that happened, in the last few years. Having more of these places, we talk a lot about, what's going to happen to these big engines that don't really have a home anymore or that can't run as much anymore. If you have more of these, homes for steam engines around the country, then you open the opportunity to doing this stuff a little bit more, where you don't necessarily need a host if you can just go from place to place. And,
you don't need to go out and back.
Yeah, and TJ and I were talking about, like, where would you fit one in New England? We were going back and forth on this. Now, we didn't come to anything conclusive, but I just really like the idea that there are a lot more of these,
ideas.
Yeah, well, a lot more of these places that are sort of coming to fruition, or, what have you.
These locations that are conducive to big steam.
Yeah, exactly. And, because there really aren't many of them right now. There are like a couple that might work.
Well, I mean, as well, you look back at, over even in the early years of the preservation era, like the 4449 was serviced out of a facility that, they had the capability to service it and keep it going, but was it really the kind of facility that you could potentially host guest engines out of?
No.
Same with like the Chessie Steam
It was kind
specials.
of falling apart too, wasn't it? That place.
It's sort of,
Bookend was.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
It's, a lot of these earlier days, it was much more about the locomotives and getting these individual locomotives up and running. And I feel like nowadays we're seeing a shift that trends more towards how do we get railroad networks as wholes. It's no longer a big event to see just this engine. It's this engine on this route with these cars, maybe this other engine that has also come to visit. It's a reuniting of engines. It's this engine at a different speed or on a different track profile. It's the experiences are changing, and I think that's where we're getting this rise of big steam facilities, or this desire for big steam facilities, I suppose.
And as well, it's a hurdle for a lot of these big engines to sort of cope with the way railroads are going. I not just like Amtrak, but PTC and everything like that. But I feel like once a lot of these bigger engines with the funding backing get over that sort of hump, they're going to be a lot more free than they were previously, especially if somebody else steps in that is an Amtrak that can do insurance for trips and stuff like that,
Or if you have more tourist railroads, they're open to other engines that aren't theirs on their own.
It's
kind of like what they do in the UK, where they trade engines every week.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking of, right? That's like, at least for these big engines that actually can feasibly go from place to place, you're sort of going from home to home around the country would probably be better for them, or more possible for them than, sitting in one corner of the United States.
Yeah.
Where they might not have too much in the way of opportunities. I don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic about the way things are going, and these facilities are certainly making that possible.
Yeah. It's sort of a trade-off.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's probably a pretty good trade-off, because in the interim, if it's not conducive to have mainline running, hey, you have a place to put these engines that they can be safe in the meantime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the note of big engines that are going to be traveling around a lot, the Cumbres and Toltec does not have one. However, they do have,
damn it.
they do have this cute little 10-wheeler number 168 that Stathi Pappas and his crew in Antonito have been working on for the past couple of years. They have a new update on it. The boiler shell has been primered, the front end completely removed, along with the branch pipes, the petticoat, the blast nozzles, etc., so that they can go ahead and tube the engine before too much longer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out what else they got. They cleaned out the entire thing, cleaned the boiler. I think they're pretty ready to start putting tubes in, and once those go in, then, hey, they're on the clock. They've got to be pretty close to wrapping things up, as it were.
Yeah.
Or as it was.
Oh my god.
Good
So
things coming out of Antonito. Good things.
Yep. We will look forward to seeing that.
Yeah. Continuation.
Speak of good things coming out of Antonito.
Uh-oh.
This is a duet continuation. White Pass 61 is getting worked on there still. The journals have been polished, and they're starting on the fourth and final set of Tribers right now. Well, a few weeks ago.
He posted a video actually of the entire number 4 axle with not the eccentric stripes, but the actual bosses for them, the cams. Like, everything's still attached, just chucked into the lathe, turning down the driver's center.
Yep, just shaving it down a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of the videos.
Wow, it'd be freaking awesome to have tools that are, we'll just throw the entire freaking axle in and go forth.
Mm-hmm.
Send it.
And they're also working on the main crank pins, because before they were dumped in the river, they got cut a little bit.
Oh.
Of course they did.
Oh.
We're gonna dump these in the river, but before we do, let's make it so nobody can fish them out and use them.
Yeah.
F all these engines, dumping them into the river, pulls out gas torch, and F this one's crank pins in particular.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's good progress on it, and I look forward to seeing it when it's done.
I still want to know what he's going to do with it. If they're going to let him run it on the cats, or if he's going to travel with it, or...
He's going to go to these new steam facilities with it. It's going to be their traveling engine.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah, that's the... It needs, like, the little skateboard type thing, like the German museum has.
Anyway, let's talk about these Amtrak routes for a minute. It's not the map that I'm talking about. If somebody can find and post an article, we will talk about it next week. The long and short of it is Amtrak wants to can the long distance network in favor of city pairs services. And
city pairs services.
Yeah, so like just corridor services. There'll be a lot more of them, but there'll be no way to take a train from New York to San Francisco.
That's
Like interconnecting corridors, like would they just break up the long distance routes
No.
into different?
The more rural long-distance routes just won't run anymore, but you'd see more service between other city centers, like your places in Ohio, Eric. But at the expense of all these long-distance routes. So if you've got major city centers near within a few hundred miles or so of one another, they would run trains. And the plan that they put out is actually pretty ambitious, and I would love it if it didn't involve canning the long-distance services as well. All of the proposals are really good ideas. Anyway, that's
Do you have a list of the proposals?
No, I don't. I want to find that map. If somebody knows where they can get that map, I want to see it again.
I think one of the proposals on that map was the Pioneer, which would be
something,
great.
Not exactly the Pioneer, but something close to it.
Oh
wait, no, the Pioneer being Salt Lake to...
Portland to Salt Lake.
Oh, Portland to Salt Lake. I'm not sure if that was on there.
I think it was on there.
Okay, if you find it, say something. That just seems like a little bit far for what they were doing.
If you see something, say something.
Yeah. Anyway, so we talked about the grades of the different railroads. So there are two more categories in here. The state-supported trains and the long-distance trains each are rated by passing or failing the on-time standard. State-supported trains have an 80% on-time standard. Long-distance trains have a 70% on-time standard.
It's still not terrible.
No. Well, most of them fail.
It's not great, but...
In fact, for the long-distance trains, only one passes, as a matter of fact. Only one meets the standard of 70% on time. Does anyone want to guess which one it is?
Oh, those are the standards.
Those are the standards.
Oh, I thought that was the actual percentage. Like it had been 70, all of them on average were 70%.
No.
Oh.
One of them is over 70%, and it's not that far over 70. Does anyone want to guess what it is?
It's not that one, it's not that one, and it's not that one. I don't know, Zephyr, just to guess.
It's an important train, but it is a forgettable one. Because it's only useful to a select small number of people. And yet it's...
Is it like...
The Eagle?
And yet it's very long.
The auto train.
Exactly. The auto train is the only long-distance train that is over 70% on time. In fact, it's the only one over 60% on time. The next closest is the Palmetto, which is 59%. At the bottom of the list is the Sunset Limited at 26% on time. Yeah.
Jeez.
God, that's pitiful.
It's awful. Also, at the bottom of the list for the state-supported trains is the Illini and the Saluki, which are 37% on time. And
bless you.
Yeah, and these are the ones that pass. The Hiawatha, the Keystone, the Capital Corridor, the New York to Albany. Why does that not have a name? That's whatever. It's the continuation of the Empire
New
State
Yorker.
Express. Yeah. The Carl Sandburg / Illinois Zephyr, the Ethan Allen, the Pierre Marquette, the Missouri River Runner, the Springfield Shuttles, okay, the Downeaster, and the Hoosier State. Those are the ones that pass.
Hoosier.
Really?
Right,
I thought the Coast Starlight were... Okay.
Where's Coast Starlight on here? No, the Coast Starlight is... Well, first of all, the Coast Starlight's a long-distance train.
Yeah.
So it's in the other list. And it's 55%.
Yeah.
The Cascades is 64%. Also
That's
not great. Yeah.
Better.
It's better, not great, though.
No.
It's okay. Everything except for the Illini and Saluki for state-supported trains are over 50%.
I've never even heard of those.
I know you have, because they were the latest train on Amtrak once when you were on, and you also said you'd never heard of them then. But trust me, they're very forgettable.
Okay. I guess so.
Yeah. Anyway, and there's a whole thing, like, frequently asked questions, what is a host railroad? Why doesn't Amtrak own all its rail lines? How does Amtrak evaluate performance? Blah, 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 blah. Actually,
basically covering their tracks for why they're so
Can trains make
late.
up lost time? Trains cannot take a different route or travel faster to make up the lost time, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to find what does late mean. Like, how late is late? I don't know.
30 hours.
Time anymore.
Why are hosts rare? Oh, here we go. Why are hosts allowed to prioritize freight over passenger? Actually, the freight companies are forbidden by law from doing that. By federal law, with only a few exceptions, Amtrak passenger trains must be given precedence over freight trains on any rail line. Unfortunately, only the Department of Justice can enforce this law, and it has only brought one enforcement action against a freight company in Amtrak's history, and that was 40 years ago.
Unfortunately,
Amtrak.
only the Department of Justice can enforce this, and they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Nobody,
no FOMO on the
unfortunately,
Department.
nobody cares. So we're going to continue to suck until somebody makes the freight railroads play nice.
Yeah. And I'm sure they'll do that. I'm sure they will. Because
I'm sure
the freight
they
railroads
will.
have a great track record with doing stupid things. Like, for example, parking a train where it blocks every access into a neighborhood for over 7 hours.
Nice job.
Repeatedly.
You did.
Twice.
That's... I mean, it's funny. It's funny. But imagine if somebody was dying and they couldn't get an ambulance in.
Yeah.
People had to
Yeah.
sleep in their cars. They could not get home. The train blocked the crossing at 5:30, and people couldn't get through until after midnight
Why was it blocked?
because the train parked there.
Okay.
People have had to call in to work because they couldn't leave their neighborhood because there was a train in the way.
It parked there? Like, did they have a failure? Or was...
Well, if it's happening more than
Like, that's
once,
not-
I get the feeling that it isn't a failure.
I guess. That seems like a strange... Okay.
The neighbors said that this wasn't the first time that a train stopped for hours. And Union Pacific replied, let me start by offering our sincere apologies to the community. Union Pacific is aware of the issue and is working to find a solution. In October 2018, we launched a new operating plan called Unified Plan 2020. At its most basic level, the plan is about moving cars to provide our customers safe, efficient, and reliable service. In many cases, we are serving customers more frequently, picking up cars as they are available, rather than waiting for an entire train to be ready for departure. The Ansley community is seeing the impact of the Unified 2020 plan as we fine-tune our service. It is not our intention to block crossings for extended periods of time. We encourage drivers to report such occurrences to our 24/7 response center at, 1-800-272-0911.
Yep.
That's not actually
That's
the
a
phone.
little bit of goodie.
Yeah, that's something that we haven't brought up in a while. But they're, 888-777-2767.
Cash now.
Yeah. No, that's their actual number. It's in this article. But
Okay.
they actually have video of the train just sitting there, because they, when they went out to write this article, there was another train just sitting there blocking all the crossings. So
Well, how convenient.
apparently this happens a lot. And frankly, that's absurd.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. I get if you're annoyed by a train because you hear it or because you have to wait for it at a crossing, but when you have to wait for 7 hours because you can't get home or you can't go to work because a train is just parked there, that's ridiculous. That deserves some Department of Justice intervention or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't get how that happens.
That just that maybe that doesn't deserve. I mean, the event itself might deserve some Department of Justice intervention. What it really deserves is better planning on behalf of the railroad.
Yeah.
If it's repeated and it's not like, there was an emergency stop because a bearing failed or a turbo blew or something like that, and this is just, we have a protocol where if something happens, then, X happens, this train parks here for 7 hours and people are screwed because we're Union Pacific and you can stuff it. That's like you said, it's inexcusable.
Yeah. It's awful.
Plan things better.
Yeah, it's awful.
Do better.
The only place
to
a train
give
should be
just
sitting for 7 hours is in a yard.
Or a station.
Or, yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Even then, that's a while to be sitting in a station. But
It is. That you gotta, they saw the old man coming up the road on his little electric wheelchair, and he's not very quick to get to the platform. Give him some time.
oh, okay. What is this? Waiting for Love music video?
I guess. Yeah, basically. Just to throw a little bit extra something onto that, and I'm not sure how this relates to freight railroads in particular. I know at the museum we're actually not allowed to block the crossing. If we have, an emergency stop or something at the crossing, we have to clear the crossing first and foremost before we do any repairs, inspections, blah, 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 because in case emergency vehicles need to get in, that's the only way in or out. So, that's one of the fire department's biggest things is no matter what, you cannot block the crossing for more than 30 seconds at a time.
Yeah, and that's how
We better have a
friggin'
quick
should
backup
be.
plan in case something fails.
Yeah, they go in through the back.
Yeah.
There is no back. Oh well. Guess we're screwed.
The back is a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, one more Amtrak note. Joe Boardman, former president of Amtrak, passed away in the last couple of weeks.
Oh.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's just an aside, which it's really a shame because he's been so outspoken about the situation since Nick Anderson took over. So
Yeah, Dick Anderson.
Is he the one that was openly condemning him or whatever?
if I recall,
His actions, not him.
Yeah.
if I recall, then yes. Second
Well,
longest
that's
serving CEO. He was 70 and he died of a stroke on 5th March.
Oh.
He had a stroke on the 5th of March and died shortly thereafter.
Yeah. Yesterday was his funeral at some time, I forgot the time. All Amtrak trains came to a stop and blew their horn for.
Well, that's nice, but
That's very cool. That's a shame, though.
yeah. Boardman championed Amtrak's efforts to encourage state and local government, local community grant applications to help pay for needed infrastructure improvements along the Southwest Chiefs route. Although he is criticized for not acting on the efficiency and mobility improvement recommendations to other long-distance routes, such as converting the Sunset Limited and Cardinal to daily operation, Boardman told Trains in an interview last September that there was no way he could convince Amtrak's board at the time to find and spend the necessary money on the national network. He did a lot of money. He initiated the purchases of the ACI 64s, the Viewliner 2s, the Avalia Liberties. He was the last president. He was fantastic, and he did everything he could. At least I think so. Also, his name was on the side of the veterans unit, Amtrak 42.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. I saw something about this, I guess about when he passed. It was probably a week ago at this point. I didn't realize that he was a former president, though. I didn't know at the time that was the connection.
Yeah. Former president of Amtrak and Air Force vet, I believe. Yeah.
Wow.
He did a lot for that. Anyway.
It's quite a loss.
Anyway.
Yeah, something a little bit more upbeat.
Oh, no, I was going to say, speaking of the president.
Oh, God. We're going to build a wall between the trains and the water.
So, I have a particular sticking point when it comes to President Trump and infrastructure. He was definitely one to speak about infrastructure on the campaign trail, and if there was one thing I was excited about to come out of him, it was infrastructure. Unfortunately, that hasn't exactly happened, but...
Depends what infrastructure you're talking about.
I suppose. Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey is willing to go to extreme measures to secure funding for the gateway tunnels under the Hudson River. By extreme measures, he means naming the tunnels after President Trump. Because how else do you get this man to go for it? Other than naming the tunnels after him. Listen, if it means we get our damn tunnels, I don't care what they're called. I
Paint to pink and call him Susie. This is. I'm actually I'm sort of chuckling at this because it's so brilliant. Because you just know that, and I mean, let's try to keep politics out of this, but just so the viewers know, I actually am not I'm not the biggest critic of Trump. However, you know that if he heard this plan, he would love it.
Yeah.
He'd be like, ooh, something in my name.
Absolutely love it.
Quote, "Whatever it takes, we'll name this the Trump Tunnel if necessary," said Booker. "I don't care, this is not about ego." Funding for the $30 billion Gateway program, which includes 2 new tunnels under the Hudson River and the replacement of the 109-year-old Portal Bridge over the Hackensack River in New Jersey, which we actually have a thing about that, I think. They made it so that it can no longer open during rush hour, because it delayed, like, hundreds of thousands of people last time it got stuck.
Oh.
It was stuck open for 90 minutes. And it has been delayed for 2 years now. The funding for all this work has been delayed for 2 years because the Trump administration refuses to fund it.
Oof.
Yeah. So,
In fairness, not a lot's getting funding right now.
no, that's absolutely true. But but all of that is kind of a problem. This is
Yes, I'm not saying that makes it better. I'm just saying that it's not a specific.
yeah.
It's not specifically directed at this project. It's just sort of a common thing right now. Is there's a lot of stagnation when it comes to big projects. Everybody's very keen on yelling about why we need to not do things rather than just, like
doing
settling.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Raise the money, spend the money. Let's do this. Come on, please.
Build the wall.
Yeah. God damn it.
I don't know how he got in there. He's just he keeps dropping in on the call.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Hello. Hello.
Speaking
Greetings, Terminus
of
podcast.
Money. Oh boy, we talked about G&W earlier. G&W.
On the note of money.
G&W might be reaching the end of their tenure as G&W. Shoreline operator, if you can still call them that, I guess. Genesee and
They
Wyoming.
technically are.
Yeah, I know, but they're friggin' a
They're
multinational
like
company.
Class 1. They're like a Class 1, but cheating.
Class 1 in many pieces.
Yeah.
It's like if the Union Pacific Railroad was a puzzle and you broke it up and sprinkled it around the globe.
It's like the Union Pacific Railroad was broken up into different pieces and they started cutting all these different things and they called it precision weight.
Wait a minute.
Boy.
And then they called it the Unified Plan for some reason.
And
even
park
though
it in front of somebody's house.
Never mind.
Uh,
Never mind.
G&W, which operates 120 railroads in North America, Europe, and Australia, is in talks with potential suitors, including Toronto-based Brookfield Asset Management. They're looking to sell the entire company.
I'll buy it.
Brookfield Infrastructure Partners has deep pockets and is one of the world's largest owners of transportation and utility infrastructure, including railroads, ports, and toll roads.
How about Amtrak buys it so they can make some money?
G&W, whose stock market value is around $1.9 billion, has a history of growth through acquisition of short line and regional railroads. The company did not score any deals in 2018, as prices rose and made potential acquisitions unattractive. Sounds like the worst deal in the history of deals. So they're like, well, we're gonna sell high. We've done all this work. We've put this railroad network asterisk together, and now we're trying to sell.
So
right.
that begs a question: who on earth is gonna? What is the price tag for that? Especially if they're not selling because they're in trouble, but they're selling because we're in such a good position. We're just gonna sell the company for a profit. We're bored essentially. Earth is gonna buy that.
They can't acquire anything new right now. That's their
like,
issue.
oh, we have enough
Where have I heard this before?
Yeah,
I'm making money on this railroad. I'll sell it. Oof.
I'll steal it. No one will ever know.
No.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I don't know. And normally I'm not a fan of G&W, but I'm just not sure if, okay, now what happens? Do things get worse?
Yeah,
Can we one dinner train
like the
from
narrator,
CW?
and then things got worse.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this. Narrator.
Yeah, but there was more trouble on the way. Sorely mistaken.
Anyway, riddle me this. Let me lay out a scenario for you
Dance with the
guys.
devil, the pale
There's a
moonlight.
truck stopped on the track.
Right.
The train is coming around the
Yeah.
corner. The gates are down, but the truck can't move. The truck happens to be carrying a house.
Yeah.
Then what happens? The train stops. For some, amazingly. About 3 feet from the house, as a matter of fact. And if you want to look at this article, it's amazing how goddamn close this train got to ruining someone's house.
It was very
I'm not.
Quote, he was able to stop with about 4 feet left of space before colliding with the house, Hollowwood says. We had a crossing collision with a truck last year on that crossing, so we're very well versed in that type of event. But I can say that in 21 years of police work, this is the first time with a manufactured home being stuck on the tracks.
That would have really, really sucked to clean up.
Oh, yeah.
At least it sounds like the crews were ready for it on that crossing.
Yeah. You stop, you call them, and you say, stop the train, please, stop the train now.
Brakeman
Put
Dave
the
to
brakes
engineer.
on. Yeah. House to engineer.
God, house to engineer.
Oh no.
He's like, the guy's like on the landline, reclined in his armchair, looking out the window, straight up the tracks. Just sitting there.
I feel like I've seen this in a
Stop
Looney
the
Tunes
train!
cartoon.
But
Anyway,
but you know
yeah,
what
that's-
train didn't stop? P&W
Oh, no.
hit a minivan.
Oh,
Oops.
no.
That's
apparently,
not good.
apparently it was. Yep. It happened in Corvallis, a little bit north. I want to say on the Toledo branch. That's where it happened, because I've seen this crossing. And, yeah, it just kind of happened. No one was hurt. The minivan did get beat up. 2005 made it out pretty okay.
Well, you know what's worse than getting your car hit by a train?
Racism.
Getting your car hit by 2 trains
Uh,
at the same time.
That's
Double kill.
As a matter of fact, none were injured,
Wow.
but an Amtrak train and a freight train collided with a car at the same time.
How?
that is just how?
Like
a head-on collision with the car just sandwiched in the middle.
I saw that on MythBusters. And apparently it took more than 3 hours to remove the car.
Ooh.
There's a picture of it. It really doesn't look like a car anymore.
There was a car there?
An 18-year-old driver and 3 passengers got out of the car before a northbound NS freight hit it and hit it into a southbound Amtrak train.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Holy cow.
Oh no!
So,
Oh no.
Oh no.
Alright,
So-
Buster.
Bad day.
Running out of glass.
Yeah.
holy cow.
Yeah, it's been
been
holy
worse.
cow. Yeah, it could be worse. Right, this man who died in the train accident in Salinas, which is in California. He was walking on the track with his headphones on, probably blasting some heavy metal or something.
I wonder where the issue was. I wonder, like, where did he go wrong here?
I want to make the
I'm
joke,
I'm
but
just struggling to figure it out.
yeah, I want to make the joke for the meme, but at the same time don't want to be that horrible of a person.
Well, I feel like it's amazing we don't have any Brightline news this week, but we had to have one of these people.
Yeah.
Because it keeps happening.
Florida
doesn't
man,
stop.
Florida man.
California man.
California man.
Ugh.
What is every 90 minutes someone gets hit by a train.
Yeah.
Train. Trains run on tracks. You have to go to them.
Yes. It's not like you could know where it possibly will be. They sneak up on you.
Yeah.
That's the other one. It's not like you know exactly where they're coming from or where they're going. Trains are renowned for being quiet and subtle, especially when they want to be.
Yeah.
Like,
Always.
What? Good lord.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel bad
it's
for
just
the
gonna
dude,
keep
but
happening.
Darwinism is a thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna keep happening until people don't walk on the tracks anymore.
Until all the stupid people are dead.
I guess, yeah.
All right. So, a 90-year-old tram is finally being retired in Nagasaki.
You stole this from me,
Sad
Eric.
face.
Yeah, I stole it from you.
Yeah, I'm going to steal
However,
it back.
instead of putting it in a museum, it will be dismantled. They're dismantling it.
No,
Why?
This is Japanese. What's the matter,
Yeah,
Japan?
I know.
That's
It's
sort of being Japan.
Okay, they're behind the book on streetcar preservation. They really are.
Really-
But apparently it's got 2 weeks before it gets cut up, or shipped somewhere else.
Why? Well, why must it be cut up? I don't get it.
I don't either.
don't know.
I don't
They saved
know.
like
Other
a
than
million friggin' steam engines. Yeah.
I don't know. Other than there may be some efforts to try and save it from a particular museum.
Good luck.
Good
I bet
luck.
Trans-Pacific shipping is a bastard.
So
Yeah, it's not that bad.
I'm just gonna bring this up because I know we're all sort of thinking it. This is a trolley from Nagasaki, yes?
Yes.
It didn't
Yep.
get
Been
nuked.
there 90 years.
Didn't get
Yes.
nuked.
Where was it?
Where
It
was
in,
it? Yeah.
It was in Tokyo prior to being in
Oh,
Nagasaki. It was moved to Nagasaki in 1957.
Seven.
Oh.
90%.
Probably because they needed some replacement
I was
trolleys.
gonna say why
Yeah.
they take it to Nagasaki because all the other trolleys got nuked.
Yeah. Nagasaki.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's apparently in
that's
good
sad.
condition.
Hopefully.
It's in good cosmetic condition. It operates just fine. It wouldn't be too hard to remove that pantograph and put a pole on it. Not suggesting anything, but it could happen.
It finds some.
A good
So
thing.
Hopefully it finds a new home. Maybe I might get to see it someday if it finds a new home.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Home and new.
Why is TJ very quiet?
Yeah.
No.
Well, on the
TJ's
topic,
in the far distance.
Yeah.
All right, what about now?
Good.
All right, now you
Good,
sound
good, good.
fine.
Okay, good.
There you go.
Speaking
Okay.
of home and new, the Golden Spike facility is now going to be a National Historic Park. Thank you.
Thanks, Obama.
Well, I wouldn't know. If it's,
Wait, no.
No, thanks,
But,
guy in the department.
President
whoever you
Donald
are.
J. Trump
Signing legislation.
signed something for once, and
Oh,
and it's that the Golden Spikes facility will now be called the Golden Spike National Historical Park, which park representative I don't know how to talk. Hold on. Park representatives say hope the name change will attract even more visitors with whom we can share this piece of our nation's amazing history. This is the
I didn't
same
realize
place that everyone else is going in a couple months.
Yarp. And now it has a different name.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard to find at Google Maps.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Are they getting anything besides the name change? Like, does the change of status entitle them to more funding or resources or anything like that?
It says that he spoke of the import of the completion. Doesn't look.
They
it
get
says-
$1 extra.
It says that it says it helps cement northern Utah as the Golden Spike region. That's about it.
Interesting.
I mean, last time I checked, that title doesn't move around a whole lot.
no.
You know.
Unless
Well,
you go to
as well,
Strasburg, Colorado.
And this one really sucks, but last time I checked, who cares? I
Ooh.
wish that more people did care, but Utah's the Golden Spike region, and that's why you're Utah, because
That's why you're Utah
Because
and Mormons.
besides the foamers and us and the people that care about history, nobody cares at all.
No.
Um,
Oh well.
Which
I thought it already was a National Historic Site.
no, that's what
It
it was,
was.
but now it's a park.
Woo.
Yeah, it joins. Now it's in the same group as like Independence Hall in Philadelphia.
Interesting.
Okay.
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 But
Okay.
does
Sure.
Independence
Whatever.
Hall have
You
a
know,
steam
whatever.
engine?
Yeah, I don't know what the difference is. I mean, it just
Well,
says
you know what?
It just says they're giving it a new name, so good for them.
Oh,
I mean, I suppose something symbolic had to be done because it is the 150th anniversary of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
I just,
In case of Independence Hall, it's something symbolic.
I already filled our quota of bell puns for this episode.
We have two. That's right. Yours was a bell pun, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. God damn it.
What was it? It's in
It was Invisibel.
Invisible. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah,
It was like
Invisible.
hiding. No, it was hiding.
I did.
Get out.
What is this
Get out.
bell pun?
I hate this.
We've
The
got three bell
Bell
pun.
Pun podcast.
Yes.
Thanks, I hate it.
You started this. You've
I know I did. It doesn't mean I like it.
You've made
Bell
this
man.
monster.
I know. All right. Well, what else? What else? Are we doing anything else?
576 is now at Union Station.
Yay.
Good for it.
Some
And it
place in
moved
England
to-
is going to have a steam engine again.
Yay.
Yeah. Go them.
Pretty good.
Plus a turntable.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is extending their streetcar network in
Is there a map?
preparation for the 2020 Democratic Convention.
Ambitious of them to think that they're going to get anything done as an infrastructure project in less than a year.
Yeah, of course.
If they can, I'd be shocked. I'm not holding any.
I wouldn't.
It's
Listen.
a 0.3 mile extension, by the way.
Oh,
Oh,
I guess
a
that's
little bit
fine.
realistic.
Yeah.
If,
Yeah.
if the
Yeah.
WW&F can do it, then they can do it.
So, here's another question.
And it's only going to cost $500 billion.
hmm
What is the point of a 0.3 mile extension exactly?
So people don't have to walk
To
0.3
serve
miles.
their convention center better.
Well, yeah, I mean that's elicits sort of what I was getting at. Is it really worth having people? Oh no, they have to walk 400 feet?
Hey, people
I
are
mean,
lazy.
there is something nice about being dropped off at the door.
Yeah.
You know?
And
That's-
picks up
that's
at the
cool.
door.
528 yards.
Especially when
Wow.
something like
That's actually
national
5 football
convention.
fields.
I mean, it's nothing to shake a stick at, and if you're having a major
Right.
convention, I mean, having your public transit go to the convention
Yeah,
center in general, I think is a good idea.
Yeah, that's fair.
Why didn't they do this in the first place?
I don't know.
Who decided that? Oh, we're 0.3 miles from the convention center, but let's stop here.
Let's stop.
We've gone far enough.
Yeah, I think we're good.
And they reference Portland in here as a sample of successful
Expanding.
streetcar networks that can span less than half a mile.
God damn it.
Okay. Keep Portland weird.
People are so annoyed. There's been a lot of politics shakeups in New York City lately, with regard to the MTA and the subway system's sort of on-time performance and just in general performance, etc., etc. And there has been like the I think what is it, the mayor of New York or something like that is, has sort of tried to take the reins on this whole thing. And there's been a lot of political stuff, and one of the things that's been touted in previous years is they want to build a streetcar between Brooklyn and Queens. And there are a lot of people like, yeah, cool, and a lot of people like, why do you need a streetcar? Like, we have a bunch of subway trains that you could just work on those. Like, just fix those or add more of those. Like, why do you have to build something that's outside of the system that we currently have? So I don't know. There's a fascination with, as one Redditor put it, there's a fascination with non-grade separated rail right now. And I'm just not. Trust me, I like streetcars, but I just don't get it.
Oh, they
I just don't
have
get
them.
it, especially for New York. I get it in this situation because it's not much, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just kind of bizarre.
I don't know. New York had streetcars and got away with them. For,
I mean, yeah,
Like-
we had like a million of them. Now we just have a lot of subways, and that's fine.
yeah.
That's fine. Just fix those. There are areas that could use more of those. Somebody frickin' connect to LaGuardia, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Uh,
Speaking of
They're
areas,
not?
no,
How?
because nobody decided to do that.
Maybe just extend it 0.3
Okay.
miles to LaGuardia.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not that
They got
close.
0.3 miles away. It stopped.
There isn't a direct connection to JFK either, but we'll
Mm.
deal with, at least you can get on a thing that will take you.
Yeah.
If you're at LaGuardia, you have to take a road vehicle.
Yes.
Uber.
How are we doing time-wise?
We could probably get away with some lightning around and then transition out
Well-
if we want to cover some small things.
Things that we need more of. Dark's new Time Belt train could be called or named Silverine, and they have a nice rendering of it here. Well, I presume it's going to be their tracks. Right now, it's just the render of it, but it looks cool, and I think the paint works pretty well. It's kind of European almost. The paint scheme. It's yellow,
Yeah.
blue, and silver.
Yeah, we sort of missed the boat on this because it came up a few weeks ago and we didn't report on it and sort of moved on. But yeah, they're getting this new line.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Speaking of which, TexRail got their, has had
Hey.
a glowing first few months. There are some testimonials here of people that ride the train now. They've carried over 130,000 passengers in their first 2 months.
Jesus.
And yeah,
That's wild.
That's pretty good.
yeah, it's pretty
Every-
damn good.
Every now and again, I'll get a text or a Snapchat from Kevon that's just the TexRail train going by, and as soon as it's out of sight, he kind of angrily shakes his fist to himself.
I like it. Yeah, I loved his reaction when he found out all their stops they're making. He's like, "Oh, they're going to the stockyards too. We're gonna be out of business. Like they do everything that we do, except better." It's like, it's like great.
We're gonna be out of business, and we have to wait for them. And there's oh god,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you need to get the steam engine back, guys. That's the draw.
yeah, but instead they bought a couple of FL9s.
Champagne, or what is it?
Champagne.
Is it champagne?
Yeah, champagne.
Fair.
Yeah, it's champagne. That's their color.
Ugh.
Thanks, I hate it. Anyway,
New oil train safety requirements have been passed in Washington State.
you get a
So
lot of
that's
those.
something.
Yep.
And BNSF broke ground on a logistics center near Denver.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bible, if you haven't heard about this, check this out. It's
They're-
freaking huge.
They are putting in a thing.
Yep.
It's big. Check it out.
Yes, some.
And they're going to use Tennessee Pass to get to it. Just
Oh
kidding.
god. Thank you, Agilis.
That's a different topic.
Soon TM. We'll do
Speaking
that.
of pass, the
Also,
Galloping
this thing
Goose
looks
could
like a model
not.
railroad.
A few weeks ago, the DNS got lots of snow, therefore big avalanche risk. So lots of trips got canceled, but they also got to operate in blizzard conditions for the
Yep.
first time in a long time.
Which, if you're, I suppose, because it's pertinent now, my end of the line thing, real quick,
Mm-hmm.
is a better illustration of them operating in blizzard conditions.
There's
Oh, no.
there's some pictures in the article, but I'm sure Weibold has a better one.
And they were using Goose 5 to plow?
No,
No.
it was following
No.
a plow train, but it still had to kick off some snow. On its
The
own.
picture that I've got in the terminations is the plow train.
Okay.
It was just really cool.
Mr. Plow. That's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
And
Yes.
then,
They need a rotary.
Yes,
Uh,
they do.
Maybe we should go get
there are
on.
two
Oh,
of them,
wait.
and Katz is using neither.
Yeah.
The
Um.
Well, there's
nom,
3 of
nom.
them, but one is in a very hard to get to spot right now.
one of them's upside down in a river in Alaska. For that one.
Well, they also have their own in Alaska,
Yeah.
which they operate that thing once every 10 years, something like that. They
Some
operated
to
in
value
2000
stone
and-
maps, but that's a different topic.
2001 and then 2011. So, it's coming up a couple of years. Let's go see the rotary plow operate.
And then
They do
go
it.
to the Skagway River and see all the stuff in there.
Yeah, get the other one.
Yeah.
Hey, can we take this home?
Hey man, they already took 2 engines out of the river.
Listen,
Why not
if
3?
you feed it snow, it'll follow you home.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyway, what else have we got?
Nothing too
Uh,
interesting.
There was a major metro delay because somebody fell onto a circuit board.
Oops.
Well done.
Yep. Also, there's a strike at Wabtec that's been going on a week.
Lovely.
That's 2 things that we had that got mentioned. We're worth mentioning. That one's
Yeah.
kind of funny. And then the strike one is kind of like, okay, great. This is a great start, guys.
Mhm.
Now that you guys are the railroad build or the locomotive builders. Also, a big SEPTA thing that I want to talk about a little bit more, so we'll talk about it next time or whatever. They're just looking at a pretty big expansion. And actually, I would expect Chris to be on for that.
Mm.
Anyway.
Anyway, are we ready for?
Yeah.
Are we good? All right. It's time for that bit of the show that Agiliz always cheats at.
Yeah.
Ba-da-da-da.
Latest train on Amtrak. But
Yeah.
sorry, wait, what is the thing?
Cabot or Google.
Yeah, no, I was trying to come up with the frickin'. I was trying to come up with the on the spot theme.
Oh.
But I can't remember what it is.
I don't know.
Anyway. Hey. Da 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 da.
Wow.
Okay. So, what do we think? Wow, that's actually pretty good. over
Eastbound
there.
Zephyr.
And that's not. Eastbound Zephyr, okay.
I'm just gonna say that right now.
Oh man.
Sunset to Orleans.
Sunset to Orleans.
Western Zephyr.
Oof.
Westbound Zephyr, okay.
I-
So we got 2 Zephyrs and a Sunset.
Okay, I am going to go with my gut and say
Limited.
northbound Coast Starlight.
Well, your gut's wrong, it's on time.
Fuck.
Uh,
How about the southbound?
also on time.
Damn it.
He doubled down and got nothing.
There's a surfliner that's an hour and a half late.
Oh no.
But, you know.
Oh,
And
the
there's also
humanity.
the Winter Park Express is on time.
Well, that's right. That's still running, isn't it?
That is still running. It's still snowy enough. Just a bit. Okay, so let's do our east-west Zephyrs. The California Zephyr to Chicago is 2 hours and 54 minutes late at Granby.
Really?
It also is suffering a service disruption.
Oops.
Oof.
Oops.
When was that last updated? That was last updated 6:09 p.m. Mountain Time. So
Oh,
not
yeah.
long ago.
6 minutes.
Uh, Okay, because sometimes when the service disruption appears, they stop getting updated.
Oh.
Also, let me
So
look
it
to make
is-
sure.
It is broken in the land of the killdozer.
Yeah, God, that's right. California Zephyr to Emeryville is 5 hours and 5 minutes late. So that's pretty late. However, Eric cheats.
I did not cheat.
Cheat.
I did not cheat.
Eric
I'm sitting
cheats.
here waiting for the picture of, what was it, 476 in the snow to load.
Damn, puppy.
Sunset Limited
Yeah.
to New Orleans is 5 hours and 22 minutes late,
You cheater.
and that is the latest train on Amtrak. But for reference, the Canadian is 6.5 hours late, and that's pretty good for the Canadian.
It is. That's the sad thing. That's not a bad day when they're
That's
only
not bad,
6
considering it's usually like 20 hours late.
Yeah.
I just got cursed of the Terminus. Very bad.
Hey, look, it's still bright outside, and it's not tomorrow, so we must be doing pretty well time-wise.
Yeah, we are doing pretty well time-wise. All right, well, that is the latest train on Amtrak. What was there was something else I wanted to do as like an end segment that I had come up with, but whatever. That's our little game for the week. I don't actually have a termination.
Yeah, I'm going to put this here for my termination. I'm going to put it on the dot too, because it just happened.
All right,
God.
and Eric, you go first.
に敗北するのにふさわしい相手.
You're welcome.
A worthy opponent to be defeated by.
Good honor.
Yay!
All right, Weibold.
I already mentioned this. This is a picture from a guy that, although I disagree with on a number of things, he takes some really good pictures, and this is an awesome shot of 76 just kicking ass through the blizzard with the flanger and the
That's
caboose.
That
Okay,
actually
why-
is awesome.
It is.
It's not working.
Um,
I'm having technical difficulties.
technical difficulties.
But anyways, I did post my lane here in the chat. Work continues on White Path 61.
I'm next, not you.
Oh, sorry.
Grumble, grumble.
Yeah, Milk. Pay attention to
I-
the order ding.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I would just like to say that I love playing around on other people's routes.
Right.
Now it's Milky's turn.
Okay.
God, DJ.
One, I'm sorry, 2 White Pass updates. Or 69 up. Oh, fuck. I'm dead.
I'm working on making it a link.
TJ, is
What is
everything
your-
okay over there?
TJ's struggling a little bit.
I think it worked.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Does it not work?
Um,
I'm testing it.
I'm testing it as well. It takes a little while to load.
What-
Oh,
can we
no,
just
no, that's
call
not
this
even it. That's
podcast
not it.
technical
No, that's not it.
difficulty?
What is it?
It's a picture of the WW&F delivering freight for the first time in 86 years.
Okay.
Boothbaycombine.jpg.
That's not it. Yeah, I don't know what that picture is.
Let me know when you find it.
It's the Boothbay Combine. Duh.
Oh, god damn it. Oh my god.
What?
Why does it at HO scale trucks? Look at this picture. Why is it
Hang on.
why does it look like a normal sized coach with tiny wheels?
What the
Okay, well, I'm just gonna link the post. Maybe this will work.
Which coach is this?
I don't know. I've never
Hold
seen...
on, let me-
What
let me
picture is
post
this?
it. Let me post it. Let me post this.
I have no idea what you're looking at.
Hold on. I just posted this picture. Please look at this. This is one of the dumbest looking pieces of rolling stock that I've ever seen.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty dumb rolling stock, and in terms of combines, I've worked on some pretty dumb looking rolling stock.
Okay, but
Is-
just
Oh, the
It's
Boothbay
loading.
Combine.
We're hoping for
It's so
posterity.
dumb looking.
Oh my god!
Well, I'll see it eventually.
It's a coach
I
on
don't know why I got
tiptoes.
such slow internet right now.
All right. Anyway, the picture I actually wanted to show, I think works now. Yeah, there we go.
whoops. Let me yeah, I see it.
Yes.
The first freight customer in 80 years.
Yeah. And it's that one flat car.
Yep.
Nice.
Well, you know, once they finish the line back to Wiscasset, everything will be, they can do.
Yep.
They, whatever.
Although 0 out of
Uh,
10 no Forney, so.
Wait, what do they? Oh, what do they deliver with the
Yep.
diesel?
Yeah, just because
What?
it was because
freaking
the
losers.
they had to like shovel the snow and stuff off the crossings and all that, so they just took the diesel because it was right there.
I will direct you to my termination.
Yeah.
Though,
All right.
Hopefully they get one. That'd be cool.
Yes.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Terminus podcast.
I hope
We'll
you
see
didn't.
Oof.
Wow, rude.
Well, it's okay. We probably won't see you again for another couple of months.
Exactly.
All right. And have a happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Hey!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Boop.